welcome to the first edition of the Dumb Zone Weekly Wrap-Up. You may remember this in previous iterations in a different form, but the idea is the same. One long episode to catch you up on the week that was in the Dumb Zone. I'm not married to the name, the Dumb Zone Weekly Wrap-Up, so like with many things in this podcast, send me ideas of something cool we could call this. Also, wouldn't mind hearing your thoughts on what this should be. Should we do what we've done before? Just top segments from the week? Or is there something else we could do? Obviously, we can't record another episode and probably can't get extra commentary like movies used to do, which they should probably bring back. Those were always pretty cool. But if there's something in production or editing the show that I could do that would be a good idea, I'm all ears. Email me, blake@nopuppetproductions.com. Yes, how about that? We have our own email now. All right, big week of programming from the Dumb Zone this week. We had 2 shows at our new downtown studio, one featuring Danny Balis. Had a well-received sit-in on Tuesday as people responded well to 690 Megan. And we were joined by Dominic Robinson on his birthday on Friday. I'm going to try to build this like a normal show. Open at the beginning, and then some sports, Today in Twitter, then viewer mail, and then close out with news and Today in History with some one-offs that I want to make sure you caught sprinkled in. So let us begin on Tuesday, June 18th with 690 Megan as we begin brainstorming Dan's digitization as well as make a special announcement about summer travel plans.
We do have a road trip plan, which we'll get to in a moment, right after we introduce today's... So if we are doing a show high atop my garage, it's probably because we have a 690 sit-in.
Yeah.
Or the people at our studio downtown Dallas are having fire alarm testing. But today it's a sit-in, and the person whose name is on the official form, in fact, she's on the couch, so I guess this makes her very important. She is Megan Hopkins.
Hello. Hi.
She's a lady.
She's a lady.
She identifies as a lady.
Today, I identify as a woman.
Right.
Made her go open door over here.
Yeah, that's the rules. No, you found out there aren't very few rules up here.
This is like the Outback Steakhouse. There are no rules. It is just right.
Just right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, this is everything I'd hoped it'd be and more. It's very inviting.
He spent a very long time curating this affect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's giving cozy.
That didn't even feel forced.
It wasn't. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It's got a great vibe.
Although I have a thing going on. Remember I was telling you yesterday? And we're going to get to the Mavs. What did you see? What did we hear? What's your column called?
Don't make fun of me.
I'm not. I'm trying to promote your column.
Your little column.
We need extra income. I like writing. It's engaging.
What can I do? I can't get any extra income. I'm the one guy that's, Rob's setting up things elsewhere. Blake's got his, lucrative girls basketball announcing career.
I thought you were going to launch Dan's digitization or something.
Yeah, your tech company, your AV company.
No, where I can use my digits to the best of my ability.
That would also work.
Yeah.
For you.
You get to choose. Do you want to be fingered? Or do you want to have your old tapes turned into MP4s?
Right. Either way,
that's what you can expect.
There's a tier pricing,
when
price
you
tier system.
Give
whatever.
Dan's digitization a chance to earn your business.
But I was telling you, there is a weird thing with the den. This is high atop my garage, and so it's my place. This is obviously my room. In fact, there's the Dirk poster that I wanted to hang up in the living room, but I couldn't.
Yep.
The Mavs 2011 championship poster. Mavs. Anyway, so for instance, I guess this was for Father's Day, although she gave it to me a week prior. My wife gives me this poster that's over there. It's a Wonder Woman poster.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that.
So she's like, I go, why? Like I unwrapped it. She made a big deal of it, and she wanted an excited me, and then I'm me. And I go, okay. And she goes, well, they were throwing this away at my job.
Okay.
And then I thought, you
Too woke.
you liked Wonder Woman when you were a kid, right? You liked Linda Carter. And I'm like, okay. I'm just like, go on, I'm just not really feeling it yet. She's like, and then I thought, you could hang this up in your office and stuff. And like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's not much room up there. So behind my back, like she came up here and hung it up.
Okay. She knows the passcode.
And then I go down one day and she's like, do you see it? Do you see it? I'm like, I thank you. Yes, I'm so happy. But now I can't, like I wanted to take it down. And I can't.
No,
because she came up, she's like, but I did this for you. I was thinking of you and how, little Dan used to...
like, basically what you're describing is that your wife cares about you and likes you and wanted to do something nice for you, and you are emotionally incapable of accepting that.
I accept that it's happening, but I think if I gave her something and she had, like, one area that's hers, only hers, like, this is just for you, to your little area, your little office, would I go hang stuff up in there going, hey, I think you'll probably like this? And then smile like,
what if you also prefaced it with, hey, I found this in the garbage?
That's basically it, yeah.
That is also true. You know what you could have done? You could have said, I'm more of a Marvel guy.
That's your bit. I can't steal that.
Yes, you can.
It's everybody's bit.
Is it?
Yeah, that's for the people. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit weird, but we have been talking Wonder Woman lately. You were gone.
What were we talking about?
I don't remember how it came up, but somebody then sent... Oh, my thing was I didn't know what she does.
Oh, yeah, she's into bondage and stuff.
Well, the creator of the show was a huge feminist, but was also really into bondage. So he wanted to create like a female character who is able to apparently like force the truth out of people, which I think is probably part of bondage, but also gave her a whip and a lasso.
A lasso, yeah.
There you go.
I don't know if she had a whip. But she did look bondagey.
She did.
Like now that you say that.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense now. Yeah. But like my point, Blake, was just like, okay, Superman flies, he's from another planet. Batman's parents were killed, although I'm still a little bit fuzzy on Batman. He kicks ass and stuff, but
yeah, how did he get all that
the Wonder Woman
stuff?
Lore like just didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, how did that ever happen?
And it was just like,
you got to have big giant cans. We understand that. That's a
that
very important part of the...
It definitely helps.
Yeah.
Fighting crime.
Because it kind of throws you off if you're a criminal. You're like, now all of a sudden, wait, am I excited or am I scared?
Yep. It's exactly like what I've always told you that...
Like if a cop turns you on, that'd be terrible.
This would be... I've seen videos, but this is not a problem that you would ever have to confront, but if you hear something in your house late at night, being naked, definitely a plus.
Okay, then it helps me stopping intruders because I do sleep.
Yeah. Because if you walk into your kitchen and someone is attempting a break-in, a B&E, if you will, and they see your little tiny dick just out there, like they're definitely going to at least pause long enough to where you may have a chance to...
What if you had a big giant hog? Would that be better?
I think also a pause. I think really
like,
just the sight of an in-the-wild penis.
Kind of a nod like
cause
Winston
for
Wolf
pause.
with the coffee. Like, very good.
Yeah.
Congrats, bruv. Anyway, so Megan Hopkins brought people here and a bunch of food.
I did. Potbelly Run on the way here, and I brought 3 fellow DFs. My husband, Mark, so...
Give it up for Mark, everybody.
Yeah, everybody just...
He's dealing with
way
the
to put up
4-2.
with Megan Hopkins.
Thank you. I have to ask.
Is he Mark Hopkins? Or?
He's Mark Hopkins. He
okay,
is.
so you're owned by him. You changed your name because...
Sure.
Yeah?
So this was his. This was a joint birthday, Father's Day, anniversary gift. Is that cool or lame? Because I didn't get him anything else. This was the gift. I thought it was cool. But
better than that?
Yeah, I mean, it's no Wonder Woman poster.
A forced poster. Yeah, I mean, I think once you get to this age, what are you really supposed to... Like I said, I got a pair of flip-flops. That was cool.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
Yeah.
It should be that, maybe a nice special way to wake up, something like that.
Okay.
You know, something...
Or a visit to your fourth or fifth favorite podcast.
Yeah.
At least top 5.
Yeah.
At least top 5. But it was also a gift for me, right? Because then I got to join.
Right. So that's a little cheating if you're on board with the show. Yeah. But that's perfect. That is a perfect gift.
I would agree.
Thank you. So we have Hector.
I know Hector. Hey, Hector, what type of shirt is that?
We do have a mic back there if you want to actually use that.
It's the only type of shirts I own, Dan. And
Built?
I'm open for business.
Yeah.
So when you see one in the wild. Also, a preferred T-shirt of one Dak Prescott.
Do they have the little pocket or no? No pocket.
No pocket.
Okay.
No pocket.
I think it's more the material that does it for me.
The material is just
butter.
Top notch.
I can't remember my shirt type. Will you look at the back of it, Blake? What kind of shirt do I have? And then introduce the other guy.
This is Tony.
Hi, Tony.
So Tony and Mark grew up best
What's my
friends.
True classic.
True classic.
I've purchased True Classic before. Solid Tea.
Yeah, they have
Solid
like
Tea. A 3-pack, 4-pack.
They have an 8-pack of black, and I
think everyone knows you bought the 8-pack of black.
Yeah, love it.
So, are you guys excited to see him wearing the exact same thing that he's worn for probably the last 2 years I've known him?
It's exactly how I pictured it.
Most days. 4 out of 5 days.
Yeah, occasionally there is business to be done, which would call in the business shorts business jeans.
Business jeans, the Kyrie shirt.
Oh,
which I thought was going to get worn out here in the next couple weeks.
God, I'm so happy I don't have to
do the TB12.
So happy.
It would have been great, though.
For who?
For all of us.
For the Mavs.
We'd be ripped for the Mavs.
Yep.
We'd be legends. Maybe. I don't know.
That feels
we'd get
like
tail.
you overshot the mark. Yeah, sure. I'm uncomfortable with the fact that in the last 24 hours you've worked in both tail and trim. Two terms I had not heard anyone use in a long time.
Well, and Gash is hanging out there, so just stay tuned.
Yep.
We might try to work that in today.
Yep.
We have good news and bad news, Megan Hopkins.
Lay it on me.
Well, the bad news, I think everyone knows. Mavs lost. And we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
At length. I'll tell you what, too. Like, I'll listen to a bunch of different NBA podcasts, and I'll listen to Locked On sometimes.
Read D Magazine.
Of course I read that. That's the first thing I do after a game. And but this morning, I was like, oh, let me just check out Windy. Like, I don't want to hear him now because it's all about, the Celtics and this and Tatum and the journey. And I can't listen to any of it. Like, I didn't watch any of the ceremony. Did you?
I pretty much only consumed it via clips this morning. I did not watch it live. I went to bed with 2 minutes left in the game. So whatever Omax did.
Like, I don't want to hear Wendy talk about it. I don't want to hear their place in history. I don't want to hear this. I want to hear. I actually didn't want to hear the lockdown guys either, just trying to tell, you know what? It's a great seat. I know it is, but I just didn't want to hear it now.
I would prefer the latter or the former over the first one because I really didn't want this all to be like a story about how Luka's not ready and Luka can't win it on the big. I'd rather them talk about the Celtics.
Yeah,
because that's what happened.
Yeah,
I mean they won 64 games.
So you guys didn't see Tatum post game?
Yeah, dude.
What?
I don't know what it is, and maybe it's that I'm influenced by NBA Twitter. I don't know what it is about him that makes me hate him, but I hate him. And not even like in a. An anger way. I just think he's a dork. Like he tried to create like a viral moment with "We did it."
Yeah. Okay. So his post game with Lisa Salters after the game. I think dork is a really good word. My word is corny.
He's super corny. He's just a corny fella.
He does the Kobe thing, which is really annoying to me.
Trying to recreate the picture.
Did you know like he texts Kobe before like most games?
His dead phone number.
Now?
Yes.
Now.
All right.
But not only does he do that, you know about it because he told people about it.
He screenshot it. And so now it's just the whole
That's
thing.
way worse.
So he's
so lame.
he's really infatuated with Kobe, and so like he did his own like Kobe picture holding the trophy in the locker room. He did the Kevin Garnett viral moment thing.
tried.
He basically just did everything other people have done, trying to make it his own.
I heard he said I guess
Corey
we'll never
Seager.
know.
Yeah, he did. He did Corey Seager on Kanye.
He's lame.
Yeah, I just feel like he's.
Was he trying to force tears on the sideline near the end of the game too? I saw that part.
It felt like it, and I'm going to tell you something else.
Like, you're not Jordan. We don't think of you like Jordan. No one cares that you're crying.
I'm tired of his kid.
Already?
Well, I didn't see his kid.
Oh,
I'd be
if you
tired
didn't see
right
his
away.
kid, then you hadn't been. His kid's around all the time.
Let's be honest, though. Who has a good kid?
Megan and her husband.
Yeah.
I like my kids.
Curry's kid got annoying. Tatum's kid's annoying. Most kids are
I
annoying.
feel like Curry's kid had swag,
Who's the
but Tatum's kid is around.
Cowboys cornerback?
Aiden Diggs.
Over Aiden Diggs's.
Tatum's kid is around all the time, and everyone has to dap him up and give him a little fist bump, and he's got to throw him up in the air. And I got to be honest, I'm so lame, I'd probably do the same thing, but I don't like watching it when it's someone else.
But the kid did nothing. The kid didn't win.
You didn't do anything.
No.
You were simply created by this man's body. I don't know.
And he'll have everything handed to him.
Probably weren't planned.
Probably wasn't planned.
Speculation from Blake Jones. I don't know. I mean, I hate that I get mad when PJ Washington like tackles KP because I'm like, it's KP. I love him.
Forget KP.
Dude, I love that.
I
Wait, now we're sliding into Mavs talk. Hold on. Let me give you the good news.
Okay.
And then we'll get back to the bad news, which is the Mavs.
Okay.
So let's pick it up at PJ Washington.
Okay.
The good news is we have been informed that we will be going to Cowboys training camp this year.
Look at that, folks.
Wow.
Your fourth favorite podcast has credentials to Cowboys training camp.
Did you give him the real podcast name?
No. We told him it's called the DZP.
Yeah.
No, we told him. We know a lot of people over there, so it's hard to lie.
Yeah.
We wanted to lie.
Yeah, so if you guys ever wonder
but
what
we've heard, we think it's a big deal
It's
to
a
go
huge
out there.
deal.
It's a
Yeah,
huge
because
deal.
they've turned down radio stations from covering camp before.
Dan and I are going to wear our best black tank tops and gold chains so that we can prove that we're a real podcast that should be treated as such. But if you guys ever wonder what we do on Wednesdays, what we pretty much do is we look at an email for 6 straight hours and we're like, how can
Change
we make
that term.
how can we make this
And then
possibly seem a little more
and
legitimate?
then on Sunday we get someone else to write it for us. And then
yeah, we're
it's
like, this sucks. Let's bring in a
good.
Wednesdays
Wednesdays are exhausting.
Let's bring in a closer.
Um,
You don't have to go try to paint the corner at 90 miles an hour.
90.
Jesus.
That's
you
my
went
Wednesday.
90?
He's not.
Don't believe
Yeah,
him.
he's not.
It's not on brand.
He's not. I would be shocked if you broke 60.
You're out of your
Wow.
mind, dude. You're out of your mind.
Let's go to the. Where's
I'll get it. I'll get a track tomorrow if you want.
okay?
Yeah,
I want to see it on video,
no problem.
and we'll play it Thursday. We have a video show Thursday. So actually, though, so now this is what we will talk about tomorrow on Business Wednesday: how to get there, because we could fly, which is the way many people would travel to California.
Have we already talked about our other flight?
To Cleveland?
Yeah, we brought that up, right?
I think we've mentioned
Yeah.
that we're going to be covering that. But
We're
yeah,
going-
we
we're
didn't
going to
have to
Cleveland.
really get anybody's permission for that.
We did not,
The
but
Cowboys, if they don't let us into camp, we can't cover
we're
camp.
flying to that one.
Yeah.
This one, we might need a little help.
So yeah, Video Man's idea is, hey, what if we drive and then we could do content on the way out? Video Man always has ideas for more content. He's like, hey, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's just easy, which it's not that hard. But he's always looking for more for us to do.
Yeah.
Although I would imagine having to video things and, that's quite a bit of work for him as well. So I should probably lay off Video Man for just one moment. So, but I was talking to him today because we were talking before about maybe an RV. And he's like, I don't think we want a big, giant RV that you sleep in. He's thinking more of he called it I can't read my own writing.
It's Sprinter, Dan.
Oh, okay. You know the word Sprinter van. I don't know what that is.
Of course I do.
What is that? He said like a van that might have been, gutted out and there's a couch in there and just like we
you
could
guys
actually
have experience with this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the guests, his parents retired, and that's now what they do. They travel around in the Sprinter van.
I have a friend.
So they don't sleep in it?
I got a buddy.
They
Blake.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Full toilet,
you
everything.
can.
Shout out
Yep.
Nana Papa.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. But yeah, it's like what small to mid-sized bands often use.
Okay.
Like the Jordan
Can we
Richardson's.
get a band bus? A bang bus.
I assumed that's what we would call it.
There was really no.
Don't you
other
wish
options.
Letty's bus that we went to, like, if that thing drove over 20 miles an hour?
I brought it up to you the other day, and it would need to go over 20 miles an hour and over 20 miles.
Yeah, I was going
And
to
I
say
don't think
that.
either one of those things are happening.
The Rangers bus that we
From
broadcast opening day.
Yeah. So if you have access to a Sprinter, or you're in a league with a Sprinter company and would like to reach out.
He said maybe small RV. Mm-hmm. But I guess anything. If somebody has access to something.
I don't necessarily want your Corolla.
Oh, okay. That might be tiny.
But something that
Now,
we
would we offer? You can go on the trip with us if you want.
100%,
How about that?
without a doubt.
Can you imagine all the? I'm trying to think of a different word for tail.
Tail trim. He's already run through all of his Uncle Dan bingo.
All the top box we could attract.
Box.
Yeah, top shelf box, bruv. Primo box.
Okay.
As they say.
Yep. They don't. No one does. But yes, I think
They do on Hotmail.
I think it would be a cool way for us to experience this trip, even though Blake has been noticeably silent for not only the phone calls and planning this, but also just now.
I still just got to get my mind right on a 2-day drive west to California with you two.
Well, if we can't get one, we'll just have to fly. But you know, that ups the company cost.
I know that's not something you're concerned about.
That's right.
Why?
Knowing that you're all.
Well, why don't I just stay back? You can save the ticket.
I'm already tired of him on a trip we haven't taken yet.
Are we there yet?
Who's going to quadruple record the show if you're not there? That's your bit. Are we recording quadruple or triple these days?
We're triple right now.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
I'm still trying to.
Like, we can't lose another show, right? It's impossible.
We're gonna lose another show.
Never say never.
Yeah, it's probably gonna happen.
Oh man, I was looking for more confidence out of you. Yeah, so we're going to Cowboys training camp. Very excited about it.
Very, very cool. We'll get to do on-field interviews and shoot some video and be like a real legit operation.
Kicking competition with Brandon Aubrey.
Spencer McKenzie's.
There
Oh
you
my
go.
gosh.
I mean, that's literally the first thing Dan brought
Yeah.
up.
That's what he'll put into the GPS.
Yeah, we're just heading there.
Yeah.
Brandon Aubrey he'll remember us.
Oh yeah, he's been in the den.
Should we book him prior to us going just to rekindle our relationship, or is that more of a beating for him?
Okay, if I have to also learn how to kick field goals, I will.
Maybe he could teach us how to kick off with some of the new rules.
Sure.
Teach us the watermelon kick.
Wasn't him, but sure.
Well, he's coached by the same guy. I'm sure that guy teaches all his young kickers.
Anyone under the tutelage of Bones learns the watermelon.
Yeah.
I'm fired up, man. It's going to be cool.
Very exciting for us to be going to Cowboys training camp. It'll be Dan's first seafood burrito at Spencer McKenzie's in over 2 years, so a big deal for Big Mac. Before moving on to our first sports segment, a brief one-off I wanted to play for you is a confusing thing that Jake saw in his neighborhood, as well as Dan won't text his poor mom back.
I had a brief topic for you guys that I wanted to discuss out of the gate because
as referenced, I am staying in a rental house right now. And that rental house, very close to your home, is in a cul-de-sac. So the street itself, I would say it's like 4 and 4 on each side, and then maybe 4 in the cul-de-sac. It's not a deep court, you know? And I have noticed that there seem to be a high degree of people who appear to have made a wrong turn. Like they just come in and turn back around, which is weird to me because I just assume everyone is using the Waze or Google Map or Apple Map, but whatever, I guess. I have not personally noticed that speeding is an issue. I drive very slow.
Yeah, on your little street for sure.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said that there's really only like 4 houses on each side.
Yeah.
Like there's really nowhere to speed.
It'd be hard to get up to,
Yeah. But I have a guy, or a family rather, at the end of the street that put this up at the end of the street, and it's way out there. And what that is you've probably seen it before.
Yeah.
It's a little turtle indicating slow, with slow written on him, and he's got a red flag there and a little baseball cap on. But I wanted to present the image to you guys to see, so you could see that's pretty far away from the curb. Like that's in the street.
Yes.
A couple days ago, maybe 5 days ago, it was up in their driveway. And now they've moved it, I would say, a quarter to a third out into the street. And
Alerting it's just for your street too.
that's the thing. Like the message you're sending is to a very small amount of people. Again, perhaps if you expand it to the people that are coming in, but why would they be going fast if they're turning around?
Maybe their kid is developmentally disabled.
It's possible.
And their kid is just slow, and they want to tell everybody, our kid's slow.
Maybe. I just find this to be aggressive, and it's a type of guy. And I'm not that type of guy, but I'm always interested in types of guys.
Would you take that down?
Like just plow through it.
Yeah, or just... My wife will take down the... like a painting like the little advertisement signs somebody will put up in the neighborhood, like at the corner.
Like a garage sale?
Not a garage sale, but if it's like a printed sign for,
oh yeah, I know what you mean. It feels
we paint houses or something.
It's commercial.
We
not
buy
personal.
houses.
Yeah.
She'll
just take those
as
down?
she walks by, she'll remove it and lay it down.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's an aggressive maneuver.
So
And
she'll do that, and then she'll also hunt fuzzy caterpillars.
Yes, and by the way, those have kind of gone away.
She's just a menace on these walks.
Well, she's trying to help the neighborhood.
Just destroying everything.
She's wanting to beautify the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I just wanted you guys to be aware that this type of person exists.
No, that person is in my neighborhood too.
What does theirs say?
It's the exact same thing. They have 2 of them, and they put it out when their kids play. But
I wasn't going to run your kid over.
no, but it makes me want to. Because there are cars on both curbs, and so they put them on the insides of the cars.
Now we have what?
So now I have a very narrow area where I could fit my car in.
You've made it worse with your signs.
And I see the kids,
Yeah.
and it kind of upsets me.
I used to always laugh where I live. There is a sign that says, like, drive like your kids live here. And I've told you guys this before, but I used to always laugh thinking about, like, Casey Anthony driving by that. And she's, like, just mashing the accelerator. Like, well, I know what I'd do if my kid lived here.
Yeah.
Run them over. Put them in a trash bag.
My non-sports item I wanted to bring up in the beginning of the show had to do with text threads.
Okay.
But it's the opposite of what you guys always like talking about. The group text thread.
Mm-hmm.
But it's my mom text thread. I have a picture there, Video Man, if you want to throw it up. We're on YouTube today. But so, yes, this is just... Last night she was calling. She called a couple of times, and I let it go to voicemail.
You're a jerk.
But then she,
How can you not answer when your elderly mother calls you?
I got stuff going on. You just don't understand what I got going on over there.
I have a pretty good idea.
You think I have nothing happening, but I've got lots of things.
What?
And those were happening. And so I couldn't answer the phone. And then she texted me. So I'm like, what was the big deal? Like, and I talked to her this morning about it. There was no big deal. She just had to tell me she was watching Master Chef.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy from South Lake auditioning. And then, of course, the second call was to tell me what her second text was last night. He didn't make it. Like, if your mom, if you guys ever live in a different state than your mom, anything that happens around, like, did those tornadoes bother you?
Yeah.
Has she asked you about the hurricane?
I heard it's really hot.
What about ERCOT?
She hasn't seen ERCOT, but she watches the Weather
will.
Channel religiously. She loves the Weather Channel.
Yeah.
Older people love weather. That's probably why the local news just hammers the weather.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But that is all my mom is into. 24/7 weather. She can tell you right now
what it's doing.
How the weather is like in California. Yeah.
I don't have a good explanation for that.
But does she think that all of Texas like hits Dallas? Because South Texas is underwater. Hurricane Alberto.
She will, yes.
Does she think that that's like we're underwater up in Dallas?
It's like we're bigger than Europe.
Yes, if she knew something about that, she would ask me about it, but she didn't.
I do appreciate, though, and you won't know this unless you're watching on the YouTube channel or one of our other video streams. She did apologize for possibly not knowing how to spell the chef's name. She hit you with the SP question mark.
No, that was nice.
Yeah, maybe I got it wrong.
Can we talk about the picture?
The one above it, yeah. So, like, she will take
questions.
random pictures of things that I have no connection with. I've never seen this animal.
I have more questions about this than the Master Chef.
Way more.
So she wrote, definitely Eden's cousin. There's it looks like a cat, maybe?
Looks like a cat, yeah.
But somehow this animal is related to your daughter.
Laying on a deck in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And she says it's definitely Eden's cousin, 90 degrees today. She wants to lay in the sun. So apparently this must be my brother's house, and he must have a cat. I've never met his cat. I haven't seen my brother in 3 years.
That's sad, bud.
It's fine.
But like,
we're fighting through it.
Does Eden love the heat?
Eden does love to sit out on the deck in the hot sun. So she knows that. That's the context that you have to know. But do I care? Why do I care about this cat?
Why don't you just not be a jerk?
I'm just asking.
He didn't even give it a thumbs up.
Clearly, every mammal that likes the heat is related.
Well, I never did respond to that one.
You didn't respond at all. That could have been months ago.
As you may know, I'm not a big text guy.
I know, and I learned that early on.
And
I respect it, and that's
when
why
you lay that out, people don't expect text back from you.
Yeah, it's true.
Because, again, I got a lot of shit going on, man. You guys do not understand the bullets that I am dodging left and right.
I still feel like
I'm on the phone all day on Business Wednesday.
I still feel like you could respond to your mother, but whatever.
She knows that I will speak to her each and every weekend.
And maybe the reason she doesn't get mad about it is because I'm responding to her so much.
Sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That'd be really funny if I became your stepdad.
That'd be awesome, man, because I know you're a good gift giver.
Yeah.
You're a tender lover.
Yep.
And, yeah, I would love to see the...
Get your AirPods every couple years. Come on. Sit down over here, little Danny.
That from the Open on Thursday, June 20th, if you would like to hear the rest of that segment. Our first sports segment today is laying the Mavs to rest. This is from our Tuesday episode, the day after the Mavs lost in 5 to the Boston Celtics.
And the Mavs lost.
And the Mavs lost. So, yeah, that's back to the bad news. But, yeah, I don't know. Seriously, what did you see? What did we hear? Or whatever,
It's called What Did We See? What Did It Feel Like? And you're a dick.
Oh, come on. I'm trying to add some levity. Things started out super negative. That 9-2 run. The Mavs weren't hitting any shots, and I guess that just continued all game.
Yeah.
They're 1 of 8 from the field early on, before they took that first time out. 7:26 left. KP enters the game, and the fans are chanting KP. Like, they're chanting for him. Wasn't it a weird thing how he became like a little cult hero during that whole run?
It's a weird thing, but I do get it from his time here. He's a very likable person. And everybody knows that it sucks how much he's been hurt.
Do you think he's way more likable when he's like your third or fourth best player?
Without a doubt.
Than when you're counting on him and
Without
then he
a doubt.
disappears? Yeah.
And also, even though he's European, he is white and he's in Boston. So
doesn't hurt.
They see a white guy who's trying really hard, but is also pretty good. Like Sam Hauser's never paying for a drink in that town again.
My God.
Neither is. Yeah, no, I can't stand him. But, yeah, I mean, KP's had a rough run, man.
Who's the other white? Oh,
Pritchard.
Oh, my God.
Screw that guy.
The end of the first half, he traveled.
He did. He did.
No, P.J. Washington traveled.
They called that one.
Basketball Breakdown said he didn't. Or what's that guy's name? Coach Nick?
Coach Nick, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, if it wasn't for that traveling non-call.
We're looking at a game 6.
Yeah, right.
I mean, they got it. It was kind of a battle early in the first. Josh Green comes in, of all things. Like, I thought.
Josh Green might have been your best player.
I kind of thought they might go Timmy time pretty early.
Yeah.
Like, let's see. And it was interesting to me that they didn't until the second half at all.
Yeah. Whenever the hole was already.
Right. Because Exum came in before him. Maxey, Josh Green. Lively, of course. He's always first off the bench pretty much. But, yeah, Josh Green was actually hitting shots. And Luka and Kyrie were not. And that's the thing. Those guys had to be awesome, like for the whole game, and they were not. And Kyrie especially.
Oh, man.
Kyrie had a
terrible series.
A bad series,
I was very, very wrong about that.
Because we didn't get fourth quarter. You know, we had come to expect, okay, here's a guy that can score 30. He might only have 8 points going into halftime or whatever, but he'll end up with 30 because that's when his time is.
And then
we never got that.
There was the one game in the Minnesota series where he did it early when Luka couldn't.
Yeah. And so it seemed like he can kind of turn it on when he wants.
I hate, like, the questioning of an athlete's mental state or aptitude, but it very clearly seemed to me like, you know, he was affected by the circumstances, home and road. Just the crowd and watching him deal with them. I don't know. It felt like he was in a weird space.
I listened to his Sunday mini press conference, not pregame, practice press conference, and he was, you know, talking a lot of Boston because now he's back in Boston. Everybody's asking him questions about Boston, but he did say it. You know, everybody chanting Kyrie sucks got in his head. Like, he admitted that, which I thought was really weird. But
well, it wasn't going to stop
kind
either
of an
way.
Honest guy.
But that's really the thing, is that he's pretty open and forthright with his thoughts now. So it seemed pretty obvious to me. And Boston's third, fourth, fifth, and sixth best players are way better than Dallas's third, fourth, fifth, and sixth best players. So Dallas's first and second best players have to be way better than Boston's first and second players for them to win, and they were not. You know, they basically played almost to a push, if that. So the only way Dallas was going to win this series was if we had a couple games of just absolute berserk Kyrie and Luka, probably in the same game, and that never happened.
Is Luka hurt?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
When is he not?
No, I think he's legit.
I think he might have to have a surgery.
Yeah,
I don't think it's just nicked up.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has like a meniscus tear or sprained MCL. I mean, something.
So I'll play you a little bit from Post real quick, because Olympic qualifying is coming up, and he was asked about that, which, you know, for a country of that size, the fact that they're able to compete in the Olympics and actually make the quarterfinals or semifinals, right, like they did last time, that's a huge, huge deal, and they have no chance without him. And so he was asked about that.
It was not more one-on-one or help or closing out. What?
He gets to it.
Just everything. They're a great team. That's what they do.
There's a quick turnaround time before the Olympic qualifying tournament. What do you?
I don't want to talk about what's next, man. I have some decisions to make. Just trying to get a little bit healthier. We'll talk. We have interviews in 2 days, right? So I'll give you an answer to that.
Any other questions, Steve?
He's not playing.
That's it. Yeah, I was going to say, if he says that, it means no.
Yeah.
Because I always thought he was kind of like Dirk. Like, Dirk is like, I'm always going to play for Germany.
Yep.
And it just seemed like, yes.
He cut him off two or three words into the question.
And he never does that.
No. So I think Blake's right. He's pretty beat up.
Which, as a Mavs fan, I don't want him to play.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean, but I love watching it. And I love how mad people get at me whenever I root for them.
Wonder if
even though...
Do they have like a prime minister or president? Somebody was here.
Yeah, well, I'm sure SportsBear, I think, probably had some sort of beat up with them.
Probably. No, I'm going to say didn't, because I would have seen it on social media. SportsBear doesn't do anything like, you know what, I'll keep
quietly.
this on the DL.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that was part of his motivation for flying over here.
Try to influence him a little
sure
bit.
That he does play. Maybe that's already like a big story there, a big rumor that he's not going to play.
Man, I saw a story the other day, and I have Googled this 1,000 times and still don't really understand it. And I started looking into it whenever Mike Tobey, Virginia Cavalier, played for Slovenia. Like, I think you can just have like one American on your team randomly.
Really? They don't have to have some kind of a tie?
I think you apply to become a naturalized citizen. I have no idea how that works. I swear to God, Mike Tobey has no connection to Slovenia at all.
Huh.
And I saw a story that Daniel Gafford was going to try to do it.
Yeah.
You saw that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
I thought
did we talk about this?
I thought the TNT guys asked him about it.
Like he's just going to randomly decide.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I want to play for Slovenia in the Olympics. I've never been, but it seems nice. My guess is Daniel Gafford will not be doing that if Luka doesn't play.
No.
He's just stuck with Zoran Dragic. No, I mean, look, I wasn't mad last night. I'm not mad today. I know you're supposed to be, but I don't believe in like the rings culture thing. They missed the freaking participation trophy playoffs last year. They tanked. They basically had no path to becoming good again. They made an awesome trade. They made an awesome minimum signing of Derek Jones Jr. They had an awesome draft with Derek Lively, and they made it to the finals. They got beat by a Terminator. It happens. I was not like upset last night at all. And I just used like again, so someone can
get the Post-it note.
I might have to. I just don't see how you could be too upset about it.
Yeah, if you are a Luka non-apologist, I guess, or want to point out all his flaws, later in the game, he was lazy on the boards. He wasn't like he was getting out hustled for everything, but it was kind of like that. That might have been the they did kind of let go of the rope thing, but
yeah,
he wasn't getting any help either. Maxey came in and just chucked up bricks.
And you can't. They're not going to win too many games where Derek Jones Jr. and P.J. Washington cannot buy one.
Yeah, and they were getting some open looks.
Yeah, for sure. I looked at the shot quality numbers were pretty much even.
And Luka wasn't hitting.
No.
He just wasn't on either.
Hasn't been really for the whole playoffs.
They said at one point he was 1 for his last 21 from 3. Mm-hmm. I think he made a couple then in the fourth. But but Boston was getting a ton of offensive rebounds. That's really dejecting.
Oh, yeah.
When you're getting offensive rebounds, that is just giving you second chances.
And Dallas has been pretty good about that during this run. But Boston's big. They're long. They have more facial hair. That's a line for only people who love Mighty Ducks 2.
We didn't pick it up right back at P.J. Washington, but I enjoyed it, man.
I just don't
Just
like
because-
anybody being mean to KP.
I just like P.J. Washington.
Yeah, no, and
In fact, I love P.J. Washington.
and he's at least got 2 more years. It might be 3 more years. But most of this team is signed through next year outside of Derek Jones Jr.
And you might,
So
you
PJ's
know
going
what?
to be back.
I think as the playoffs went on,
The price of Derek Jones Jr. went down.
yeah, everybody was real hot and bothered, like, oh, this guy's going to get maxed out. Not a max, but you know,
Yeah.
that there's no way you're going to get him for the mid-level exception, and I think that you will now.
You might.
And that's great.
You might. But the main things going forward are you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do with Tim Hardaway because he has a huge number and he gives you essentially nothing. Maxey is hurt all the time. And Josh Green just signed a contract and I have no clue what he is. Still.
Yeah,
Week
there's
to week,
something there.
There's something. He gets out
But it's
and
not
runs
consistent
and he
at all.
pushes the ball and he can shoot. You know, he hits
Energy.
multiple threes last night. You don't want to rely on him. But outside, I mean, because he would basically be the guy who would take Derek Jones Jr.'s space.
Can you believe that Dwight Powell used to be a major minutes eater on this team and they were good? Think about that.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time where Dwight Powell was good, though. He wasn't great, but he was decent, and I could tell Blake already disagrees with that.
I wouldn't throw out good.
As a lob threat, Dwight Powell used to give you something.
Sure, when no one was around and he could jump up and catch it and dunk it, he was good. And you're right. When Luka got blitzed, he was pretty good at the 4-on-3. But he got absolutely bodied by any real center.
I mean, you can definitely tell the difference when you see not even just Lively, but even Gafford. Like, that's a real big.
Yes.
And
then Lively's a step up from Gafford.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
they did have it seemed like their defensive philosophy changed a bit last night, where they were
A little more
coming
pressure, yeah.
pressuring Luka more, and that's why they needed the other players to hit some shots, and they just did not.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a conscious thing of in Boston we'll do that because, you know, the whole thing about the
Role
role players playing much better at home. It's not just a old wives' tale. I think statistics
yeah.
back that up.
Yeah, Drew Holiday scored the first 4 or 6, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He's good.
The Mavs.
Yeah. I hate the Bucks for that one.
I saw this on Twitter. Kyrie is 32. Derek Jones, 27. Luka, PJ, Gafford, 25. Josh Green, 23. Hardy, 21. Although not that big of a contributor, but still.
Maybe.
And Derek Lively is 20. So
Yeah.
these are all, besides Kyrie, 25 and under, which seems like it's great for the future, and like they're already here. And how many stories, cliche stories are there of you have to take your lumps, you have to get your failures, you have to take steps. I mean, obviously Tatum and Boston is a great example of that because they've been inching their way forward for the past 7 years.
Yeah.
LeBron, and they point to that when Dirk handed him, a finals loss there, that really, to learn from that and to, be able to have that pain in order to, watch them celebrate and all that. And Luka's been through that, been through the pain of losing in the first round for the first couple of years. Then he, finally got to the championship and then finally got to the finals. And
I definitely still think it's going to happen. It's just nothing is guaranteed, Like, it's not like you can just say, all right, well, next step next year, win the finals. We were in the finals this year. We'll be back next year.
Yeah, this isn't a checkpoint.
It doesn't
where you just
seem
load
like
from here.
Their path is as like Boston's in the East was a little bit cleaner.
Because I don't know, Milwaukee's got a weird situation going on. Philly has an extremely weird situation going on. But in the West, you're dealing with Shea in Oklahoma City. You're dealing with Ant in Minnesota. You're still dealing with Jokic and company in Denver. The Rockets might be good soon.
Spurs.
The Spurs. I mean, you're going to have to deal with Wemby.
Still got. You would have to think the Clippers could muster a run with all that talent. You know,
I'm
Kawhi
less
was hurt
confident
this
in
year.
that, but you're right. I mean, they're better than
If they were all
the
healthy
fourth
heading
best
into
team
the
in the
playoffs.
East. Yeah.
Jaw coming back for Memphis.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pelicans are decent. Yeah, the West is stupid.
So I do think it's going to happen at some point, but it's a freaking bloodbath, man.
Do the Mavs draft Brownie?
Just to try to get it done?
Would you want LeBron here?
No.
Yes.
Well, hold on. Let me answer as two
Counterpoint.
Come on.
Let me answer as two different people. As a fan, absolutely not.
For the show.
For the show.
I mean, that's what you said about Kyrie, and look how perfect he's been.
Come on, we go to training camp. We take a couple trips. It'd be fun.
I mean, if LeBron was a Mav, I think it would be good for us.
And then he talks Luka into
Leaving.
going to Vegas, his new franchise, as a free agent in 2 years when LeBron retires. But you get one title out of it.
And I don't
You
have
get
to
a title?
and I don't have to do TB12.
You get a title, you don't have to do TB12, and Luka goes to Vegas.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Even though I'm pretty sure Bronny's not even an NBA player.
No, but he's going to start.
You think?
LeBron, Bronny, Luka, Lively, and Kyrie.
Hey, my last Mavs thing is, did you see the Tim McMahon story this morning about Cuban?
I saw like a headline.
And I'm confused by the whole deal. I have been since the sale. But like the first iteration of the story was that so they sold to the Adelsons, but Cuban was still in charge of basketball operations, so Nico would report to him. And now apparently Nico reports directly to the owner.
Well, and even in that, when people were pontificating about it, it was that Cuban owns
a controlling interest,
the
or
control
something?
share.
Yeah. I don't
like to make sure, even if he owns 10%, he's in charge of things.
I don't understand any of it, but it was significant enough to where McMahon wrote an article that says that basically, like, Cuban's kind of just a guy who owns part of the team now.
That he has nothing to do with basketball operations.
Which is very hard to wrap your head around.
Because he's always had everything to do with that.
Since day one. And when the sale happened, he said it would always be that way. So I don't know. It's a weird story. Just because I know nothing about the people who now own the basketball team I root for.
And are you
like nothing? Other
right,
than they
would
were
that
sitting
make
next
you
to Steve Nash the other night.
Are you happy or sad? Because some people are saying, "Oh, that's great."
It's more normal, right? Typically, the person who owns the team is not that involved in personnel decisions.
Yeah, Steve Ballmer's not making trades.
He does press conferences and
but
yells.
they're the final word. And
this person, the Adelson,
like Steve
family,
Ballmer did say, you have to make that Paul George trade.
Yeah, and I still think that'll be the case. But Cuban was like recruiting players. I mean, he was at the club with Chandler Parsons. Sorry if I just brought up a tough memory.
Maybe that's a good thing that he's not. I have some audio from game.
Yeah, and I just
have any post-game stuff.
Yeah, I have one kid thing I'll play for you real quick. Let's see here. Yeah, so the reason I pulled this was because it's very funny to me, and we've all been there. Like you've referenced before, like the Stars flight, where we all have to act like, oh my God, we've just witnessed basically the Holocaust, and it's just like a sports match.
Right, it's because they lost the last
game
of a three-game row. Yes.
Yeah. So I just thought it was funny that even Tim McMahon, who's awesome, has to do like hush tones questions, and everybody does it.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. Jason, when you look at what needs to happen for you guys to be able to get over that last hurdle,
I mean, already, can you tell? Like it's just Jason. What needs to happen?
Yeah, and I'm like you. That's not how I felt really at the end of the game. That's not really how I feel today. I think we all were pretty easily ready to step back and say, this has been kind of great.
Guess who else didn't feel that way? And I promise you this. Jason Kidd. Everyone wanted Jason Kidd fired 4 months ago, and he just got this team to the finals.
And he got an extension.
Yeah. Like, he may have to pretend, but I promise you last night he was like, oh, shit, I did my job.
Yeah. We faced a juggernaut.
Yeah.
They were this is one of the most lopsided odds going into a finals. They didn't expect to be here. Boston had to be there.
Yeah. But everybody in the press conference, it's the exact same tone. I just picked Tim's because it was interesting.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. Jason, when you look at what needs to happen for you guys to be able to get over that last hurdle, what are things that stand out to you as far as how you can get to that, take that next step?
Well, I think the first step was just to be in it. I think that's a big thing. A lot of us.
It is a big thing to win the finals.
When I say a lot of us, excluding the people in the locker room, didn't have us here.
And see, this is why I included this part, right? So we're going to get another dosage of
social media, the media itself.
But we don't listen. We don't hear any of that noise. We block all that out.
Except I know about all of it.
Except I'm going to reference it every single time we have a success and say, like, none of you thought we'd be here.
When I say a lot of us, excluding the people in the locker room, didn't have us here. And so to be able to start the playoffs in L.A., to start the playoffs in Oklahoma, to start the playoffs in Minnesota, to understand that that's not easy to do. And I thought
why does he talk like this?
Great job. Yes, we lost 4-1, but I thought the group fought against the Celtics, and just unfortunately we just couldn't make shots when we had to, or we turned the ball over, and they took full advantage of that. And so there's a lot of positives in this run that we were on during the playoffs, but also since March we've been playing basketball at a high level. So when we go back to look at some of the stuff, what we can continue to build on and what we can get better at.
First row on the right, Brad.
He didn't answer the question
He
at all.
didn't answer it at all.
Can you keep playing? Because I almost pulled this part.
Okay.
This kind of piggybacks on what we just said about him.
First row on the right, Brad.
Brad Townsend, Dallas Morning News. Speaking of building, you've talked about building a culture here in 3 years, conference finals, NBA finals. What would you say kind of the biggest, the most important pillars that you feel like you have put in so far?
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. First year we lose to Golden State, who becomes the world champs, and then we lose this year to the world champs in the Boston Celtics. So not a bad run in 2 out of 3 years. And so
Not bad for me.
I'm going to remind you.
Conference finals, remember that?
Pretty good job.
Yeah, pretty good.
Here. So
who won last year?
Denver.
Title. Denver, yeah, and remember during the season we lost to them.
Yeah, they beat us once. Yeah, we played them in Shanghai. They beat us in the preseason.
So really, we're right there.
Yeah, transitive property. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like we said the other day, it's hard to argue with the results, but he annoys me quite a bit with, and I guess all coaches and athletes do this to an extent of I'm blocking out the noise. I don't see anything you guys say are right, but also
that fuels me.
I'm proving
the hate
you wrong.
Fuels me.
Yeah, it's just such a silly game we play.
I do think too. It's 100 times better to lose the series 4-1 than 4-0.
Yeah, especially if like that one you just like beat the brakes off somebody, and they were pretty much in all the games except for last night. So, yeah, I think I'm with you. I thought you were going to say, is it better to lose 4-1 or in Game 7?
No, I'd rather get to Game 7. I want more.
Yeah, I want more too, but I was not
Then you would feel like you're right on the...
Yeah.
I don't know that you do feel like, yes. I mean, you've already said it.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're going to be there again next year and we'll get it done. It's...
I mean, I know I've referenced this twice now, but I've been watching it a lot for personal inspiration. But the Will Smith quote that I told you guys about, that the difference between 90% and 100% is 50%, makes sense to me. Like they're close, but the difference between getting to where the Celtics are right now and where the Mavericks have displayed themselves to be, it's not like just winning 2-3 more basketball games. The Celtics are a machine.
Yeah.
They won 14 more regular season games. Now, the Mavericks might have won more if they had this, complete roster during the season, but they're not on the same level.
Such a boring machine, too, man.
Yeah, their coach sucks. I don't even know what he's doing.
Their stars. You know what? I'm looking at my notes. I forgot to pull the audio, but it was the Jaylen Brown sounds of the game.
Anytime they were mic'd up, they were horrible.
Sounds of the game
Just
sucks.
so generic.
It's not
It's
interesting.
like, this guy, you're calling him a leader?
Yeah, it's not
I
interesting.
suppose they win. Then that's work. So here's this was in Kyrie's head.
You don't have to simply attack Luka. If you can use your defense to create this, you're in good shape.
Oh, the crowd serenading Kyrie Irving. What are they saying, Mike? I'm not quite sure, JJ. It's hard to decipher. There's John Goebel, along with Zach Zarba and Billy Kennedy. Excellent officiating crew for tonight.
All right, I kept all that in just to show you how bad they suck.
That does not
Kyrie
help
may
my
suck.
Refutation of your point that Mike Breen sucks.
Yeah. Oh, these fantastic. Oh, what officials.
What officials?
There's John Zobel or whoever. Yeah, of course. That's why I'm here.
Legendary.
Billy Kennedy.
But
Holy
then,
shit,
yes.
is that Zach Zarba?
Is that the sweaty one?
I think so.
Oh, the hot one? The Don Drapery guy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's a snack. But yes, just the lack of chemistry of the booth. It's
I give up.
JJ's going to try and... Hey, what's that? What are they saying, Mike Breen? What are they saying, Grandpa?
They say, like, as of us starting out this morning recording, that he's been hired.
Reddick?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so. I'll see if I can confirm that I'm not getting sacked, but...
Boy, that's juicy Shams versus Woj, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we need to...
Because Shams had that right away. If you care about that, and I don't accept that it's... I care that people care. But it's really weird.
It's just to watch the pissing contest.
But that you can be paid so much to be called an NBA insider, and the only inside information you ever get is something that's about to happen anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't uncover something and report on something that they wanted hidden. You uncovered something 10 minutes before someone else did, before their press conference to announce it. So...
Well, Shams went back on McAfee today, which is a whole other interesting component of that, apparently, and said, there's not an agreement as far as I know right now. He had meetings with the Lakers brass Sunday.
That is a whole nother great level because Woj works for ESPN.
Yeah, and then McAfee just has Shams on.
Because I could see in the old days, which is like a year ago, 2 years ago,
yeah,
they would have said, don't have him on. You have to have ESPN guys on.
I don't think they can tell him anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were told that when trying to book
we couldn't
Michael
have people
Irvin.
on it was very funny because, we couldn't have people on from The Athletic when I worked for The Athletic.
Right.
Very funny
at the ticket. But I'm saying ESPN's ecosystem, though, wouldn't allow their guys on the ticket.
Yeah.
And we used to bitch about that, and then, then the ticket would actually do that exact same thing.
Yeah.
Well, no, we shouldn't have a guy from the Star-Telegram on because Dallas Morning News runs our app. Well,
yeah.
What does that matter? This is the guy that has the story.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but just get a guy that works for the Morning News. But, he's going to be talking about their story.
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know if he's going to be the coach of the Lakers, and it's going to be really funny.
Because he does a podcast with LeBron.
And it's going to fail.
Probably.
It'll be funny when LeBron starts blaming him.
Yes.
Because LeBron has blamed every coach that he's ever been with. And, by the way, he's been right on every one of them.
Every single one. It's not like Eric Spoelstra went on to become a Hall of Fame head coach who's done more with less than just about anybody.
So does that
back
mean
to the game.
he's not coming to Dallas?
LeBron? Probably not, Blake. I'm sorry.
That would have been fun.
Would you take JJ and LeBron? Get rid of Kid?
Yes.
Sure, let's just turn it into a circus. Let's go.
3-ring this thing.
You want to hear the short halftime report?
Ha! My favorite bit we have going right now.
We've been following the fact that this is an actual full segment. And don't count the part even with the bumper where they read the ad.
Okay.
So let's try and figure out how long this actually is. A full segment.
Welcome back to the Kia Halftime.
Let's check out our Kia halftime highlights. Oops, he did it again. He was shoved into this game just for this reason. Peyton Pritchard hits the half-court shot, and those are our Kia halftime highlights. Boston so close they can taste it. Second half after this.
17 seconds.
So they learned to not throw it to
I was going to say, they didn't even try to throw it to someone else this time.
She also did say highlights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Played one clip and then said, those are our highlights. I'm just not sure they're understanding what plural is.
With a really forced Britney Spears reference.
Yeah, while I'm on a New Level is playing.
Yeah.
And then, just
so
the
bad.
buzzer beater.
It's so bad.
Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah. That's what, because that's what really swung the game.
When Kia wasn't envisioning, hey, let's put our logo on these highlights. Here's Peyton Pritchard for you.
It's really incredible to me.
Like, is there a Kia exec at home who's just like,
damn it, man, Jaylen
glass
Brown
of bourbon, like, I can't believe we spent $700,000 on this.
It's incredible how bad ESPN is at doing games when they're ESPN.
Yeah.
They are sports. And they've always been just terrible at football.
Well, Troy and Joe now, but yeah.
Now they have Troy and Joe. But at developing...
Which is why they paid for them.
Right. They had to steal someone else's full team to say, yes, this is... you guys show us how to do announcing because we don't know how to hire anyone. And then their halftime show for basketball is obviously so far behind what TNT has.
I feel like I should just come clean about this. I miss the two old guys up in the balcony at the Muppets Theater.
Yeah.
I miss Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
Even though they would come in and basically be like, I'm just going to do a 3-hour podcast during a basketball game and just
it was great.
Talk crap about
There's
the league
personality.
and the refs.
There was just something.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Like they had an agenda for sure. I think I heard George put it that way.
Like a blowout game, they were even better.
Yeah, because they would just be like, these refs, this rule sucks.
Like they could just mess around.
Yeah.
Whereas these people, if it's a blowout, unless it's a good game, they have no chemistry. They have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Breen's a haircut. So now we go to halftime. And I've never really watched the full halftime before. But I decided, you know what? Let's do some research for the show.
Don't tell me you're about to do what you're about to do.
So I didn't realize halftime is not an NBA halftime show. It's whatever Stephen A. Smith does during the day.
Yeah.
It's a take fest.
Yeah.
Now, not everybody, though. So he just sits there. And because they all bow down to him, and they're wearing knee pads, and they're slurping and slurping, they wait. He doesn't say a word, but he has to have the last word.
Of course.
Because he is Stephen A. Smith, and everything is built around me. So here you're going to hear, is it Wilbon?
Yeah, Michael Wilbon.
Okay. Given, just a well thought, and it's really weird with him because I kind of think he's a well-respected
newspaper guy,
journalist.
Yeah.
He's got wealth. He's thinking at a different level, perhaps. So you're going to hear the tail end of his points about the first half.
Cover your ears, guys.
And then we're going to get a take fest.
Is that Holiday would be the guy to lead them, and he got them off to a really good start in the first quarter when it was back and forth, and Dallas was hanging in there for a while. And then Jason Tatum, anybody waiting for him to have that great game, he's having it. And it's not just scoring, it's distributing, it's getting his team involved, it's defending. They have shut Luka and Kyrie out.
Right. Okay.
Shut them out.
I appreciate everything y'all saying.
So where the hell is the disgust? Because I'm disgusted. This is Game 5 of the NBA Finals, and you're on the road. The stars show up. The best player on offense for the Dallas Mavericks has been Josh Green off the bench, who hit all 3 of his threes. Luka's holding on to the ball too damn much. He's disrupted their pace. Kyrie is just a no-show. Just an absolute no-show right now. We know he is a superstar. He is much better than this. I don't know what's going on with him in Boston, but it's bad, okay? You look at them, 6 for 18 shooting.
Fade it up.
Tatum and Brown, 31 points on 12
Is that just during highlights
shooting.
they have to put the music, right?
Yes.
Of the NBA Finals, the stars for Boston showed up. The stars for Dallas, there's an APB out for them right now. Okay, now that's the second half. They were down 29 in Game 2, okay? They came down in Game 1, rather. They came back and they cut it to within 8, all right? Well, guess what? You're down 21 now. You got a second half. It's a championship on the line. Show some fight. Just show some fight.
Julius, what is the coach going to say? What's Jason
now
saying?
start
We're trying to
over
switch gears.
Bob Myers.
After this first half, obviously a 20-point game. Like I said, teams in the NBA, they score at a tremendous rate. So third quarter is a 20-point game. Get it under 10 by the fourth quarter. Give yourself a shot. That's all you got to do is give yourself a chance.
I need to see a Dallas Mavericks team that didn't come here to say, well, at least we didn't get swept. Try to win. Try. Stephen A., I don't think it has to do with effort. I'm not saying that they're got to be more effective than that. They're being overwhelmed.
Boston is just the dominant team right now. That's what it looks like.
They're getting beat.
I'm Jason Tatum.
They just beat him up.
We'll be right back.
What a mess.
Okay, so make sure you guys argue going to break.
Yeah, that's a classic staple, but you still have to do it right. I'm going to start every single time that you finish a point. I'm going to start going, and I appreciate everything that you have to say.
However,
that's such a great way to start your point.
But it's also a controlled scream. I am screaming.
Yeah.
But it is just a loud voice. I am not really yelling because I will enunciate all of these words that you are hearing out of my mouth.
And the second that Kia gets their ad read, I will start talking normal again, like a normal person. I will just speak like this because this is how I talk, and I'm actually not that fired up about any of this.
This is when PJ threw down KP.
Just throws him down. Crowd reacting to the replay on the big screen. Washington just trying to send a little message, play some physical basketball.
If that were Caitlin Clark, it might spark a debate for a week.
Respect. Little crossover culture war action.
Oh, Doris mocking the little ladies game, huh?
I mean, if I have any read on what is happening with the WNBA, it's that everyone who played in the league before is not on her side.
Which makes me on her side.
Me too.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. The one from last night or whatever, maybe it was 2 nights ago, was insane.
The smashing her in the head?
That's insane, dude.
It does happen.
It does happen.
Happens in the NBA, too.
Yeah, but then you get somebody puts your teeth in the back of your throat.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get away with stuff like that. And I'm not trying to be like Caitlin Clark stan, but
somehow people have made this a culture war thing, too.
Oh, well, they have to.
Like,
but
it's all black lesbians against the white girl.
It's awesome. It reminds me of, and I told you guys about this just recently, I'm pretty sure, but the Pride Parade I went to, where I went to a Pride Parade in D.C. because I just happened to be there with my wife and another couple, and the Pride Parade got stopped because it was too corporate. So, like, there was like a Lockheed Martin float, and it got shut down by LGBTQ people of color because like the regular Pride was too like normal. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
it's like oh, Caitlin Clark, oh, that's a progressive thing.
Right.
We have a female basketball player who's inspiring
but yes,
women.
Now
it's like
fighting within them.
No, we can't have. Yeah,
right.
It was very interesting to me.
The Drew Holiday wife thing is weird, right? The
tough look.
So I I was it was now the third quarter. They're getting drilled, and I'm fast forwarding at certain points a little bit, at least the 15-second skip.
Sure.
And so someone gets fouled. Let me just skip ahead to, 2 clicks, and I don't have to watch them shoot free throws. And I'm not learning anything from these announcers. But, so I hear Breen say this.
Tatum will shoot free throws. Want to make a quick correction and apologies. That was not Drew Holiday's wife.
I was like, what? Wait, you're apologizing?
Now you got to
go. For something you said?
Now you got to go back.
Yeah, let me rewind here a minute and see what was said.
Streisand effect.
And apparently what they're doing here, this is another thing I've picked up on. It's they're playing a one-up game. So everybody who has something nice to say about Drew Holiday, we've done this before. I can't remember with who. But, I got something even nicer. Well, no. I remember when he walked on water. Yeah, but I remember.
He was acquired one day before camp began. He was the missing piece for the Bucks in 2021. He's the missing piece for Boston here in 2024. He's everything you want in a basketball player.
He's everything you want in a teammate as well. I mean, he is a selfless person. We talked earlier about the sacrifice. Obviously, he probably made the biggest sacrifice this season for the Celtics in terms of his role, and his role has changed night to night throughout the season. He's a deserving champion.
Oh, there's no question about it. And we could take it a step further and talk about what he does in every community he has been in. You've talked about he and his wife, Lauren, and their commitment.
So 4:39 remaining. And there's his wife.
So it was a lady standing next to 2 black kids.
Yeah.
The lady was white, just to paint the picture. They all had lanyards. So I don't know if somebody had said in his ear.
Yeah, that's not on him.
That's his wife and kids, or if he just said, oh, they must be showing this because it's his wife and kids. I thought, have you searched now and seen what his wife actually looks like? Because I kind of thought for an NBA player, thought the wife would be a little hotter. But it could have been the nanny.
What's really...
maybe it was his kids.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just 2 kids that were not his.
We got a tough scene here, pal.
Oh, no.
So I was about to say, I've actually looked up his actual wife, who is, I believe, a soccer player. And she's not that much more attractive. But that might be because of this brain tumor that resulted in her having her eye removed.
Whoa. So that's really a tell that that's not his wife.
Mike Breen was like, I apologize. As you can see, the woman that we showed you on the screen there has 2 eyes. And
right. Doesn't have a patch.
It's
or a parrot on her shoulder.
It's that looks like that's a tough scene. How could this have actually gotten worse?
Hurts to miss that one.
And then here's Breen's final call.
Yep.
Blake made me go back and watch this. I thought you turned it off with 2. Oh, he turned it off with 2 minutes.
I did.
Yeah, I skimmed.
I did too. And then Blake said, hey, you got to get the final call.
I wanted to see their reaction.
Because I feel like it's illogical what he does here. Like he sets something up, but then he says something different.
Is it more illogical than pointing out that a woman with 2 eyes is not a woman with 1 eye?
This crowd on its feet, the best team in basketball all year. All the work, all the sacrifice, handling the enormous weight of massive expectations. Ends tonight here. It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.
You were like the odds-on favorite, probably top 3 at the start of the year.
So
the best team in basketball all year.
Yeah. What you're saying is, he was building up that they had enormous expectations, and then he ends it with anything is possible.
That's
as long as you're the favorite all effing year
Right.
long.
I don't think anything is possible there. I think they've proven that really no other team did have a chance all year long.
Yeah. He wanted to
you didn't
shoehorn
prove doubters wrong. You didn't.
He had to shoehorn the KG thing in, and that's all that was. Which is also why Tatum did. We did it.
Yeah.
Trying to go viral himself, but he has not an ounce of swagger in his body. So
anything is possible. Now their 18th banner, most in NBA history.
Right. Who would have ever seen this coming?
These plucky underdogs like the Yankees, the Lakers,
the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I know I felt really confident about the Mavs reeling up.
Well, you did.
It was probably wishful thinking, too, because what better fan base could that happen to? Because it was the worst thing that they were like the first baseball team to do it. They were down 3-0.
Yeah.
And they came back against the Yankees, and it was Boston fans, I think, are the worst. Philly fans, I know, are kind of hated because they're real dicks, but Boston fans, I grew up with them. Always we've had the curse of the Bambino. They were in the playoffs every other year, though.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was a Cleveland Indians fan.
Right. The best thing you had was that they filmed a couple movies there.
Yeah, they were 60 and 102. That was their average record every year of my childhood. And Boston was in the playoffs every other year, and then they would lose in the ALCS. It's like, oh man, see the most downbeaten franchise in Major League history, and then all they do, the Bruins are great.
The Bruins are great.
And yeah, then the Patriots all of a sudden come along and become the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
And then these guys have the audacity. It's like, but it's been since 2008. Like, really?
You've been in the finals 6 out of the last 8 years, or the conference finals anyways, 6 out of the last 8 years. And it's like, oh, finally. Like, I don't want to hear it, dude. I don't want to hear it. Love the city, hate the people.
Yeah,
I'll take Philly people over Boston people 100 times out of 100.
Yeah, anytime they did a close-up of a fan, going to break or whatever, they're the worst.
Yeah, and that guy's and his kids are going to the 20th parade of their life in 2 days. You know what I'm doing? Watching people not even be able to get a bag of Doritos to Corey Seager on the back of a Dodge Ram in the only parade we've had in 15 years almost.
Remember, Tuesday and Fridays are Patreon-only days, so to hear those full episodes, be sure you're subscribed to our Patreon for only a measly $6.90 a month. That's about the price of a grande Starbucks drink right now. Almost 20 hours of extra Dumb Zone content or 16 ounces of overpriced caffeine. You decide. But please pick us. Okay, speaking of Patreon only, next up is a very wild Ladies Be Trippin' edition of Today in Twitter featuring Kelly Stafford and Hawk Tua Girl. This is from our Friday episode. Enjoy.
So on today's program, we should start with Today in Twitter.
Why not? Let's just
because
do it. Yeah, we're already there.
We've already mentioned the Hawk Tua Girl, which I swear I knew about before you guys, but go ahead.
You just didn't. Blake, you can take the reins if you want.
I was going to save Hawk Tua as the ender.
Like for the whole show?
No. For Today in Twitter.
Oh, okay. Well, then start where you want to start.
I want to start with Kelly Stafford.
Oh.
Because she's another female that's making her way around Twitter.
Are you moaning about her?
She's a beating.
You're talking about her like you're talking about
I was going to
almond
say that she was a cancer survivor, but if you guys have other ways that you want to...
I feel like getting cancer, maybe while you're battling it, you should have the force field on us calling you a beating.
It wears off.
Yeah.
I've never thought about that before.
If you survive it, then we can go back to telling it like it is.
Okay.
And that's what Dominic does overall. He's not afraid to go there.
Not afraid to go there. Let me ask you this. Is it better or worse if you get it when you're a kid? So you would think if you get it when you're a kid...
You probably have more longevity with it.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that you would think it would wear off, but I feel like people would be more sympathetic to you if you're like 35 and you're like, yeah, I had cancer when I was 6.
You had to go through that in your
Even
childhood.
though it was 30
you didn't
years
have a normal
ago.
childhood, yeah.
Yeah. Rather than you get it when you're 33 and you're in remission by 36.
Yeah.
Which is better? I think you probably want it as a kid.
As far as want it based on garnering more sympathy throughout your life, yes.
More force field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she made the
That
round.
was important to come to that conclusion.
She was on a podcast called Off the Vine with Caitlin Bristow. Do you remember that name at all?
Vaguely.
In researching her, she was on The Bachelorette.
Yes. Then that's where I knew it from. And also, I can 100% promise you that name is related to the fact that they drink wine.
Off the Vine?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. They're both seated with a glass of wine.
Yes.
Of course.
That's what that is.
The episode is called Kelly Stafford, Touchdowns and Tumors.
Okay, so still
Force
playing
field
the card a little bit, yeah.
Also, kind of cheap to just put tumors next to touchdowns.
And really, she's only had one of those.
Yeah.
Although they do the, we got traded.
Yeah.
She does that.
What do you
bit.
think about that, Dominic, as a former athlete?
When the wife...
Like Josh Hamilton is the
Those
one
are
that
we on
most
everything.
famously comes to mind.
Again, with the way she is with it, it's a beating.
Yeah,
there is a we element to it, but then
The whole family does have to move.
Yeah, but then there's a point where like you've gone too far and you're referring to we in things like you just said. We didn't throw a touchdown.
Yeah,
that's where it gets like
We didn't sign the $100 million contract.
No.
She sucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've played audio of her in the past. Remember, she threw a pretzel at somebody.
Yes,
At a Rams game.
She had a podcast, her own podcast.
She has
for
a podcast.
significant amount of time, and I believe Dan actually listened to a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and yeah, she was like on TMZ or something for throwing a pretzel.
Well, I listened to all 1 hour and 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this.
That's why they give them the big bucks, folks.
She talked a little bit about her nursing career because she worked in the hospital for a few months, and then now she's just forever a nurse. So even now, it's like she said, I'm a former nurse.
Yeah, like you're not in the Marine Corps. It's not like it lasts forever.
And like she's a quarterback's wife.
Yeah.
But she's trying to
and
put out
ladies
this
who
image.
stopped working after they had kids love to tell you about what they used to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The gallery agrees.
And so like she even said in here like, oh, my nursing days has really helped me be a mom. Like, what? Because you went through nursing school once?
This is the husband of a nurse who still works, who's mad that somebody else is trying to claim stolen valor of nurses.
She said she quit because she had to give a guy a sponge bath.
Okay, well, that feels like day one.
That just kind of feels like what you have to do. And so, she got a little upset that the guy got hard whenever he was getting a sponge bath by her, and she quit. And then she got into plastic surgery, started working at a plastic surgery place where she only worked for a couple months. So her nursing career is non-existent. All right, let me get you the clip that
look at him defending
is
nurses.
going around. I'm not. I just don't like when these people build themselves into something that they're not. Okay, here's what went viral. This is a little bit of a longer clip, but you need the full context. Kelly Stafford met Matt at Georgia. She was a cheerleader. He was the quarterback. He was the quarterback at an SEC school, so he's getting to do whatever he wants. They begin to casually date, and she decides to turn the screws on him, and this is the story that everyone's been hearing.
It was like, this is fun. I was like, oh, we're in a relationship. This is great. This, because that's all I knew.
Yeah.
I didn't know casual dating.
Wait, so was he trying to casually date and you were all in?
Yeah, girl. And I didn't know what that was. So all of a sudden, we're kind of doing this thing, and then he's like, oh, I see him at a bar one night. And I'm like, what the Anyways, long story short, it wasn't that cute of a relationship at first. I hated him. I loved him. I dated the backup to piss him off, which worked.
Yes.
He was like,
that'll do it.
He was the bad boy too. Like, Matthew's so sweet and Southern gentleman and all that stuff. And the backup was the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Ooh, and it upset him, which it worked. thankfully.
Yes.
But yeah, at first it was
Was that like the pivotal moment in the relationship where he was like, actually, you can't be with him. You need to be with me?
100%. So they lived in the same dorm because athletes lived in the same dorm, and he would see my car there. And so at one point he like waited and followed me out and got in my car and wouldn't get out.
Stop.
And he was like,
this is so hot.
Yeah. I was get out of my car, and he was like, he's not right for you. And I was like, what? You can't tell me that. Like, get the f- out of my car.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's dating like 12s out of 10s. You know what I mean? Like, he's dating, God knows, supermodels.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah.
Southern supermodels, but still.
Right.
And and it's funny because I had to like rush them. Some of them came through when I was a sophomore. I had to rush out, and I was like, I cannot do this right now. But anyways, it was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
Did not think I think if you ask anyone who knew us at Georgia, if they thought we would have ended up together 4 kids, they would have laughed their asses off.
Really?
Oh yeah. I think I would have laughed my ass off at that.
But that's kind of the cute part of it.
Totally, Caitlin.
That's so cute.
So people are mad that she was getting it on with the backup quarterback just to make him mad.
Yeah, and she's obviously targeting the starting quarterback, realizing that would be a more lucrative thing.
Yeah, I wonder how that guy feels about this becoming viral this week.
He hates it.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Can we look that up?
I know who it is.
Have we done that?
In fact, he's made Antonio Brown's cracker of the day.
Who was he? Do we know? Who cares? You know him?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Coach Joe Cox. He's the tight end coach at Alabama.
Wow. He turned out all right.
He's doing fine.
He's doing just fine, and
He's a bad boy?
No, she's embellishing that.
He might have been.
He
15
may have
years
been
ago.
though. I mean, yeah, we're talking about college.
Maybe compared to Matthew Stafford too.
Yeah. Did you know? Went to high school with Clayton Kershaw.
I had never heard that.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So just the same high school? They graduated, like 4 years apart or something?
No. They played baseball together.
Together. Wow. On the same team?
Same team.
Weren't they like pitcher catcher? Don't they have a special bond?
She banged him. She was saying right there, she was banging him. She's not leaving, in the morning in her car.
It's pretty diabolical. And also, it feels like we've kind of changed the rules of romance from like the say anything days. Like, I'm pretty sure right now, if you just get in a woman's car and they're like, get out, and you're like, no, you're going to jail probably. I mean, that feels like...
No, have you seen that? Speaking of today on Twitter, there was a funny thing going around. It was probably a TikTok thing. They were just like the lady explaining sexual harassment.
She's like the lady who has like a bunch of fillers and Botox and looks real plastic surgery-ish.
No, she was kind of young. She said,
Okay.
here, let me show you. And SNL did something like this
With
a while
Tom Brady,
back with Tom
right,
Brady.
yeah.
But it was, all right, person A is, he's the owner's son, and he's
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And, and he comes up to you and says, can I stick something in you or whatever? Like really crass. And she's like, this is not sexual harassment. She's giggling. And then she's like, and section B. Or she said, and he's 6'2". Person B, he's 5'10". He's your boyfriend of the last 3 years. He comes and gives you flowers. This is sexual harassment.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can still get away with it if you're
Matthew Stafford.
QB1, but
yes.
I still think you probably don't want to be like getting in somebody's car and not leaving when asked. But you're probably right. Maybe that one's Teflon.
You guys want a preview of what this podcast sounded like?
And she didn't want him to leave.
Oh.
She was banging his roommate or his backup just to get him to get in her car.
Would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in that QB room, though.
Yeah?
When that was going on. Because that's already a pretty...
It's a bad season.
Yeah.
Quarterback is...
My brother got super, super lucky that Griff was as cool as he was. And the guy before him, Kevin Moore, that they were all super cool. Like, the guy that he replaced was cool. The guy that replaced him was cool.
Say, wait, you guys are saying a college quarterback room is just...
I mean, dude. Everybody knows that everybody wants the other guy. There's a girl factor. There's a transfer factor. There's which one of the coaches like this guy or that guy factor. Am I wrong about any of this?
Absolutely. And there's always a split. And let it be a white-black thing, too, because then you've got
Oh my!
half
the locker room
guys,
is split?
then the locker room split because whenever the white guy does something, the white guys are rah-rah and vice versa.
So that's
The
way
black
different
guy
than
makes a play and then
the
it's a
defensive back
problem.
room or the wide
No,
receivers room?
it's quarterback because there's only one, and
Ah.
he's the leader. He's in front of all of us, so it's different than any other room.
And there's no rotation
There's
of
no,
the quarterback.
Yeah,
there's only-
and we can't all shine at
Yeah.
quarterback. One of us shines. So when
wi-
he
it's a
shines,
wild
it's gotta be.
situation.
It's very political. It's very like politics. It's like there's the Republicans and the Democrats are and it's just like, hey, I gotta pull for my guy, whatever party I'm a part of. And it gets and they're playing pranks on each other and doing nasty stuff, and it gets pretty wild.
Just tell me when you're done with this.
Our love story, I love that you think it's so great. It started out horrible.
I'm
Tell
out.
me.
I mean, yeah,
I
I was
knew
gonna
my
say, like,
future.
we
I
can
was
listen
I'll
to
be
it,
mom.
but
Yes.
And tell me their names.
Chandler, Sawyer, Hunter, and Tyler.
You know my best friend I was telling
Okay,
you
let me
about that
say
last year?
something.
Her son's name is
that could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tyler's that's a regular name.
Chandler, Sawyer.
Chandler's, Hunter's. That could have been a million times worse.
Yeah,
I
they're
thought
probably a little too old to get that bad.
Yeah.
As things are now.
10-year version forward of Matthew and Kelly Stafford would have been an X and a Y in every kid's name.
Her son's name is Chandler.
Wait, really?
And well, it was going to be Chandler whether it was a boy or a girl.
That's the best.
Yeah. Now
that
he's
is the
the love.
best.
He's my godson.
Stop.
Yeah, Chandler.
Chandler. I mean, it's such a good name.
All of your names that you have for
Well,
these.
they're gender neutral because I kind of wanted all boys.
Oh, that's so
There you go.
hilarious.
Slow everything down. And
You
my
did?
personal is KB Stafford 89.
Oh, you're a KB too.
Yeah.
Samesies.
What are we doing?
Same.
my middle
Samesy.
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 Oh.
Somebody's
This is what
listening.
Blake is
My
like.
middle name's
I listened
Dawn,
to
so
an
my
hour of
uncle's
this.
KD.
You're gonna listen
you're
to
gonna have
KD,
to force
but-
this on you.
Oh, interesting.
That
And we're
is-
like, you can raise my kids. I'll help raise yours. Like, let's just do it together.
A podcast of mine just came out where you should actually have her on your podcast. She talked about how it's proven that women
Okay, we're
live
done.
longer if they have a community.
I want to go back to radio. I
literally
no longer want to be
proven.
associated with
Wait, I
this
love
medium.
that.
Like,
Yeah,
you
we
can drink wine
we
every
can play
day, like,
longer form stuff.
eat whatever you want. You will live longer if you have a village and a community.
They don't know what Instagram is quite yet. So
Oh, bless.
Thank goodness.
What
Yes.
is the oldest?
Matthew's struggling to get up.
Bless.
Tears will be starting to build with
Oh,
her.
that's so. When was she born? Wow. What?
She was.
When was she born? Is she a Cancer?
Why?
She was born in March.
March.
Why are we still playing?
Yeah, why are we still
Why are you
playing
doing
this?
this?
Like, I don't understand what
I
you're.
always act like I know.
What
a
did we
lot,
do
but
to
I
you
don't.
earlier this week?
Aries?
Are you getting us back for something?
Oh, she's such an Aries. Just kidding.
I don't know
actually
anything.
All right, Hawk to a girl.
That's. I'm sure there's a market. I'm sure somebody's listening to it.
Somebody chooses to put that on in their car as they're driving from their house to soccer practice.
But what's interesting to me about it is I don't know who that is. My wife does listen to a couple of female comedians podcasts, but they're like professional storytellers.
Like, who is this friend of hers? Another rich. Who?
Caitlin Bristow?
Who did you say she
was on The
She was on The
Bachelor.
Bachelorette.
On The Bachelor. Okay,
yeah.
so that's
So
where
that's
she
the
got her
natural
whole thing.
career arc.
But I can promise
Bachelorette
you,
to podcast host.
I can promise you, my wife would never listen to this. And I'll go so far as to say that none of the female listeners we have would listen to this.
And she's just
So I
on
don't
The
know what
Bachelor. Like, she didn't win it?
She might have been like she didn't win, but then she was the
next season?
Yeah, I think that might have been how it
Okay,
went
so
down.
that's kind of high ranking.
Yeah, I've heard of her for sure, but I just don't know.
So whack
I
that
swear
like
to
I
God,
could
Blake.
ruin my whole life in 1 week just
I
because
swear to
we're
God.
on
Let
the
me tell you
period.
something.
Like
Yeah.
I will want
The
to
first
work.
one,
We'll tell you.
it's
when
going to
you
your
do this. That's
ribs.
good.
Yeah, my
At least you'll know
aura-
the week.
The first
you know, it's so
four-seamer?
validating because I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to quit podcasting, and my aura
I'm
is like,
hitting you
"This
in the
is
ribs.
remember
your
this
true
day?
passion in
Yes.
life. You're just
Yes.
on your period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
yeah.
pay $6.90 for
starting
this.
in 3
No.
days.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh,
We have paying
yeah. I'll find that
customers
clip
here.
and, like,
Yeah,
add
look
it in
at it.
You guys are
right
trying to
now.
enjoy a
But
couple
how did you work
brews.
through your postpartum? Because
No, thanks. I was just messing around. He was offering me a beer. Thank you.
Oh.
How did you work through your postpartum?
Blake is about to catch a 67 mile an hour
I know.
four seam.
71. All right.
Are
so
we thinking we're pushing 70s?
I didn't get to go this week because
he's not hitting 70, Dominic.
My guy had a kid thing, but I will get it on the radar next week for sure.
Yeah, we're not getting 70 down.
I don't know if the radar will read
7.
Whatever.
All right, so Hawk to a Girl.
Uh-huh.
This comes from an account called Tim and D TV. And they seem to do a lot of man on the street stuff.
It's like a popular version of content now that Dallas, Texas TV has tried to do this a little bit. You just go out when people are out. So you go out to a bar district at midnight, at 12:30, at 1 o'clock in the morning, and you just start talking to drunk people with basic prompts. And then edit that together. It's not that different from like jaywalking, really. Or what was the Kimmel's bit?
I don't know.
Kimmel had a bit that the guy Jake Bird used to do, right? Anyways, it doesn't matter. But he would go out and ask people common questions and put their
man on the street.
Yeah, their dumbest answers together. But it's really popular on YouTube right now.
So I tried to find the original full video, and it's not out yet. And so they're just putting out these little teaser clips. And we have a few of them. The first one starts... I believe they're in Tennessee.
Yeah, I think they're in Nashville.
Nashville.
Yeah.
And he walks up to this girl, and he begins talking to one girl, and the other, she brings in her friend. And Tim or D, whoever this is, recognizes that the friend is where the gold is. So here's your first introduction into Hawk to a Girl.
Do you know what makes you wifey material?
Me, wifey?
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah.
Explain. What's
So she's got nothing.
I'm loyal. This is my wife. What makes me wifey material?
What makes her wifey material?
That fat she got.
Girl, turn around. Let me see.
That fat ass she's got.
Yep.
Okay? So he recognizes, okay.
This is where...
I need to ask her the questions.
Yep.
Okay, question number 2.
Leave a message to your last body.
I love you, Pookie, forever!
They must have been doing the right thing.
What can I say? Bit the cobwebs off this day.
Yep, your last body, your last person that you had relations with, knocked the cobwebs off this thing.
All right, keep it going.
How do you get over a breakup? Y'all get over a breakup right now?
The only way to get over one is get under another. Amen.
So you got a side piece.
Maybe. Maybe I got 3. Maybe I got 7.
How many is on your roster?
There's only one I want, but till he's serious, I'm a bullshit.
So how many you got on your roster right now?
Maybe 4. 1. She said 1.
How many you got on your roster?
None.
See, friend's got nothing.
Yeah.
There's
Friend's got nothing.
there's only one I want.
Yeah.
I love her.
And where are we here?
I think it's Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you could tell from the videos that
there's no way we'll book him, right?
Who?
That we'll book this girl out.
Oh, no.
Okay. She's
No,
too big already.
Yeah.
She's already ascended to crazy plane lady level.
She's got
I think
Kelly
she's
Stafford
above
on
her.
her
You
show
think
next
so?
week.
She's so far above. Yeah.
Crazy plane lady is...
She's doing well.
Well, she's doing well, but she's also definitely doing what I was talking about the other day, where she's trying to extend it so hard. And like Doug Townsend, I feel like still has fresh material.
You have to give Crazy Plane Lady...
No,
I
you're
mean,
right.
for taking her one moment where she was really, negatively portrayed.
Solid PR spin.
And kind of turned it into... I don't really know what she is now, but she's at least something. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Can you go get your something check?
No, I think what you do is you sign up for OnlyFans, which is what Hawk 2 is girl's going to do pretty quickly. So we'll get to that.
Kind of like Shovel Girl.
Yeah.
So she's...
Forgot about that.
And from the videos, her tongue is really blue, which is Jell-O shots, I'm guessing.
Yeah, or, a lot of those bars they have like a specialty frozen blue...
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. Her friend's tongue, kind of blue. Hers is just all the way blue.
Yeah.
And so she's already gotten some hits, but here is what really sends her over the top.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk to and spit on that thing. You get me?
She's doing the motion.
And she doesn't even
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk to and spit on that thing.
Zero hesitation.
She's got the fist ready. She's got the head movement ready.
And her friend, it's so funny too, like to watch her friend's like, just no. Stop it. Like she's used to this girl just having nothing but gold.
Yes.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that huck to and spit on that thing.
You know, I was thinking about that a lot this morning. Everybody knows that if you have a daughter, eventually they're going to be with a man or a woman, whatever. They're going to at some point develop a sexual identity, and you just, I guess, just try not to think about it. But like Hawk Tua lady has a dad, and like he's probably aware that Kayla is now Hawk Tua lady on the internet, and
I think you'd have to be proud. She's funny.
She is funny,
but yeah, she's
funny for
down.
letting people know that she has a specialty oral sex move that honestly, I don't even know that I really knew existed. I guess I sort of did, but I never heard it described so vividly. Like that woman has a grandfather.
Did you guys see this?
Oh, you gotta give him that huck to and spit on that thing. You get me?
She's a keeper. Hey, we got a $23 Scat Pack. Come holler.
Of course. Doug's been killing it.
Yeah.
I wish we could get our interview out there. Like, I feel like that interview should go viral.
Doug?
Yeah. Like, we had him on for 25 minutes. It's just so weird, the stuff that the internet picks up, because somebody will post, like, one of his videos on their Twitter account, and it's got 40,000 impressions or something. We had the guy on, and he had crazy stories.
What's like, we've talked about this forever, the Catch Me Outside girl.
Yeah, that 7 months later.
Yeah, she was on Dr. Phil, and then after it hit reruns, for some reason, someone then put out a clip of that, and that went viral. And then, speaking of OnlyFans and turning something into, or nothing into something, like, yeah, she's, like, would you trade portfolios with her right now?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, without doubt.
She made like $8 million last year.
Yeah. Catch Me Outside girl.
Yeah, I know.
And so the best part about stuff like this is
these guys gave us $700.
Well, yeah, they don't have the longevity staying. She's gonna have to do it day in and day out. That's what we're known for.
The internet remixes.
Oh yeah,
I love.
Oh, you gotta give him that spit on that thing.
Somebody's already made it into a country song.
Spit on that thing. 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 Spit on that thing.
Boy, that's good.
It's very good.
Spit on that thing.
Do you guys like? Do you guys like Hawk Tua?
Okay, I love it. Love
we
it.
Photoshopped a hawk onto Tua's tongue of my Lotus.
So I don't think Dan will get this, but Jake, I hope. Do you remember the Tim McGraw song "Indian Outlaw"?
I'd probably know it if I heard it.
Okay. It's like for some reason come back recently because people don't quite know what he's saying. Let's see if this makes sense to you.
I'm an Indian outlaw, half Cherokee and
Huck to it.
Okay.
That made me laugh really hard.
Okay.
And these things all happened in 24 hours.
Yeah,
right.
The people work quick these days.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's Hawk Tua girl.
I think we could get her on like a year from now.
Yeah.
I think that's probably as quick as we could pull it off.
We couldn't have gotten Shovel Girl right away either.
Right.
Well, yeah, she went to jail.
Oh, yes.
She did commit a felony assault.
Yeah, but like 2 years from now, yeah, she'll be opening up new Trader Joe's, and we could probably get her around that time.
You know what they need? And
she'll be at the RNC.
That's
that one lady already pulled that off, right? The lady that dropped the N-bomb? I'm pretty sure she's already...
That checks.
Yeah.
The Democrats never do it. They never can get anyone.
No, you know what sucks
or
about it?
They just wouldn't play it up? I don't know. What's the deal?
The Democrats fired Al Franken because he took like a joke photo where he was like pretending to touch boobs. And now he's just gone.
Well, he resigned, yeah.
Well, they made him.
Right. pressured him into that. Whereas,
no, we suck at this. The left is terrible at it.
Yeah, the right's like, we're not going to pressure you in it.
Come
resign
on in.
if you want.
Yeah.
Don't resign.
Yeah, it's why the things are the way that they are.
Yeah.
About it, that is actually so
I swear to
healing.
God, Blake.
100%. Well, what's the other Taylor Swift quote that just
Don't
you let the
don't
run
test me.
roll?
I'll tell you all.
once you
do you
speak
feel
it,
like-
you can move on. You can move past it.
Do you want to hear a conversation where they're Taylor Swift quoting each other?
They absolutely did it.
No.
Everyone thinks I hate Taylor Swift too, so it's great. You know.
Well,
Oh, that is great.
I did that so you didn't have to.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you for your service, Blake.
You're welcome.
Real quick, before we get to viewer mail, you need to hear how Chappy behaved at Nora's dance recital. This from our Monday news.
Rockwall County Sheriff's Office is looking for video and information to help track down a stolen trailer. This trailer was stolen from a dance studio. It contained all of the props. And let me tell you, there's a lot of props. I'm recently familiar with the props and the costumes. Oh, do you also know you have to buy them flowers? You're familiar with this bit, Rachel? Yeah.
What? So,
like, I had to go to the grocery store and my mom already had some, so she got a double bouquet of roses for.
So you went grocery store? They're not selling them there. I was thinking that's how they double dip.
That's a good idea, but no, I don't.
That's a good.
Did you ever go to one of those
right there,
things?
man.
Did
That's
they
a
have
good
a
idea.
DVD for sale?
Come on, of course.
Okay, yeah, because they'll set up and they'll tell you don't bring
no
out
phones.
Don't open your phone because we're going to have a DVD for sale, and you have to buy it.
Yeah.
Memory, like DVD. Where am I going to watch this?
What would I put this on?
My projector.
Yeah, that is an interesting one. Like, it's all Venmo now. Yeah, it's a scam. But I am surprised nobody has set up the flower grift. But that is,
we should do that. We're looking to make more money.
I like it.
Can I have that idea?
You need some ideas.
Well, I need some money.
Right. Right.
Just let me know send me a schedule of all of the dance recitals, Jake. in the Tri-County
Just for
area.
flower sales. Just for flower sales.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
It's just a business.
I'll just go raid Trader Joe's and just charge double.
It is kind of funny. Like, I think I told you this last year. So when my dad and I were swapping stories on what we'd rather be doing than being there for another 2 minutes.
And taking on 88 cannon fire.
We had some good ones.
On Omaha Beach was preferred over seeing your daughter perform a dance.
It wasn't to see preferred over seeing her. It was preferred over seeing everyone else. But like my dad's he's a I wouldn't say he's like a conservative, but he's certainly not what I would call progressive. And like he can't not laugh at a little boy dancing.
I always knew he was funny.
Like, so, because most classes will have 10 to 12 girls, and the boy who's usually honestly like a phenomenal athlete. Like what they're doing is phenomenally athletic.
Could be a yell leader though someday.
But they're also wearing the male version of whatever the females are wearing, and sometimes that means that they're dressed like a little bumblebee. And my dad cannot handle that.
He's not yet. Still not mature enough.
No. He's giving me the elbow.
Hey, man.
Hey, check that out.
This fucking kid's a bee.
I'm like, I see it, Dad. He just can't. He can't process it. It's like Blake's grandpa with the HIV medicine commercials.
I could be on Blake's golf trip right now on a Beatles circle jerk, and I'm here watching this goddamn kid dressed as a bumblebee.
Oh man.
That extra voice you heard was Danny Balis, who we hope to be hearing more of in the coming days and weeks, as well as later in this program. Our viewer mail of the week this week is from our Tuesday Patreon-only show with 690 Megan, as we have another special show announcement.
Oh, let's do this.
Oh yeah, wait a minute, Uncle Hotmail.
This is viewer mail.
Uncle Hotmail.
Have you ever sent us a viewer mail, Megan? I don't think you have.
No, I haven't. I'm actually really sad because I purchased a gift to bring today, and it did not arrive in time, so I'll be sending it. But it was a really cool open for business old school sign.
Oh, nice.
Thought it was kind of neat. Could be good, den or studio, but it is not here.
Dan's a really big fan of when you tell him about something that you were going to do that didn't.
Right. I need to appreciate it.
I can't tell you how many things I've ordered that didn't come in on time that I just had to send back.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, well, there's no point in me telling Dan about this now.
Well, I'll still send it.
Show me the baby.
It's not here today.
I'm not against it. And now you know our address, so
you can't fire
That's right.
you.
Yeah, good point.
You want me to lead off?
Go ahead.
I got an interesting one from listener Adam. We were talking recently about second families and whether or not, like, partially, does that ever happen anymore given social media and, your phone being tracked? And then I think the second part was also, could a woman pull it off? And he says, I've got a story about a person I knew who had two lives. He was living concurrently. He was a professor at my college and also taught adjunct at another university in the town over, about an hour away. So he would lecture 3 days at one school and 2 at the other. It was found out a few years before I got there that he not only had a long-term partner with her kids at school A, but a wife with more kids at school B. So he's teaching at the schools where he's got the 2 separate families. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday kids go to that university. Tuesday, Thursday kids go to that university. They had no idea about each other and had been doing this for several years. When it was discovered, wife divorced him, but the other woman, who was also a professor, stayed by his side.
Okay.
Said he still has to travel to see the kids.
But said, I do want you to hop on Find My Phone now.
Probably.
You've always been against that, but I'm going to have to ask you that.
He would often sleep in his office, and I would find him brushing his teeth on the 4th floor bathroom late at night when everyone was practicing. It was a classical music school. So
That's exhausting.
It's so exhausting.
Oh, I can barely keep up with one family.
During early morning lectures, he wore the same shirt as the previous day and would chug 8 to 10 cups of coffee during that. Something was keeping him up at night. He was brilliant, nice guy, Canadian, and tenured at the college. Would tell stories about smoking weed during grad school in Canada in the 70s, watching the Oilers games. That doesn't really have anything to do with the rest of the story, but I thought it sounded cool. So, anyways, he said he's a musical expert that was highly regarded around the country.
Yeah, I just don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you've heard, and this is probably old-timey, the stories about a guy that got away with that, and then they don't find out until his funeral.
Die. Yeah.
Whether his mistress shows up or it's an actual other whole family.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of cool.
So they got away with that, huh?
Because like you say, when you're dead, you're dead. You don't know.
Yeah. Second families.
Yeah, I would not be into it. Although maybe my other family would just let me hang everything I wanted to in my.
You're not pulling this off again.
My other den. No?
No. This is a one of one.
It's a sweet garage. It's a nice size. I mean, it could be more perfect if there was like a shower up here.
I suppose.
I have a few birthdays to read. Uncle Hotmail. Hope you find this well, as I'm sending it via my far less capable email provider of Yahoo. Please wish my dad, Jeff Kenzel, happy 64th birthday. Because of you, he has added immaculate grid to his daily routine.
Oh, how nice.
It would make his day if you had a war game on today's episode from Jeff Jr.
That was popular in the vans on the golf trip. Immaculate grid.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, just 8 or 9 of us just trying to think, Cardinal, Philly.
I would think 9 guys could always get it.
We got it pretty much every day.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was a nice little routine
on
the way
I wish
to
you would have
the
called
course.
me on the day there was the Indians. I had some really obscure ones the other day.
Okay.
I was so proud of it, I took a picture of it and sent it to my buddy. Not to you guys. I knew you wouldn't care.
Thank you.
I might like to see it.
I'll send you the picture right now. And then I want you to react to Jake and tell him how cool it is. Or tell him just how amazed you are at it.
Are we doing a war game?
So what you're trying to do, Jake, is you're trying to get the most obscure guys. You want the lowest score you can possibly get.
I'm
kind of like in golf.
I'm well.
It's like the opposite of a Stableford.
Yeah. I'm well aware.
I'll send it to both of you guys so you can be really impressed.
Please don't.
One of the guys you've heard of on this. It said 10-plus win season for the Indians.
Neil Heaton.
0.1%. That's pretty badass, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once I guessed, because it was a Washington National, or no, it was a Mets somebody, and I had Bassick on there. And Bassick turned out like a 0.00.
Oh, wow.
1%, and I texted him about it, and he was sad that he's like, oh man, I'm that spare.
Played shortstop for one game, Felix Fermin, born outside the U.S., 50 states.
Do you guys think this this is good stuff? You like this? Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Castillo was another point winner. Wow.
Carmelo Castillo, was on the Indians.
You
for
killed
a year.
it.
Thanks, man.
That's immaculate.
Uncle Lieberman, it's my buddy Day One DF Trey, a.k.a. Troy Rivas's Larry Bird minus Russell Westbrook birthday.
Isn't he 0?
I think so. Yeah.
He did not get woken up in that special way because he's too busy mourning the Mavs season ending. His leaders are Video Man's off-mic laughs, Jake's sports bet nibbles, and the Tommy Gunn AIDS scene in Rocky V.
We really should make you watch that movie.
More Blake.
Or we should remake it, one or the other.
More Blake, except when he loses sods. From Landry Atkinson.
Good friend of mine. Big contributor to the group chat.
He says he's DF number 35.
Impressive.
Wow.
Kevin Durant.
Who did we meet the other day? And did they say it on the podcast that they thought DF meant fan? F meant fan.
She did not say that on the podcast, no.
Okay. Which it could.
Yeah. The great Landry.
Just because, we got fans, bro.
Yeah.
Bracket Dan, my birthday is on Business Wednesday tomorrow. Mad respect, though, for you guys taking Juneteenth off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of the random player birthday to say how old I am. So I'll say I'm 42.
Respect.
Thank you.
You're not a fan either?
No, I hate it.
This is Jackie Robinson birthday.
I just like... Ooh, wow.
On Juneteenth.
On Juneteenth.
Incredible.
It really is.
He ends with skibidi. Skibidi. What does that mean? Is that something from some show?
How do you spell it?
Skibidi. 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 From James Milby Milburn.
Anybody?
No?
Nobody?
Mm-mm.
Nah, everyone in here is too old.
Not like a soccer thing?
There is a Today article that says, why does your teen say skibidi?
Okay. I'm interested.
Way too old.
What does it mean?
It can help you pick up the young chicks.
I want to walk hand in hand with all of you into the ocean.
Are you reading? I thought
it doesn't make any sense.
You're researching
it says the most interesting thing about the word, and I don't even know if I'm saying this correctly, skibidi, is that unlike a regular word, it doesn't have a set definition, but can just be used as an adjective anywhere.
Is that interesting?
It's not that interesting to me.
And finally...
Yeah, I hate it here too. I mean, I want to devolve back into salt. It's just... Let's just all be done.
Finally,
the dinosaurs had it right.
This is from somebody called Poonslayer69.
Add that to your trim list.
Is their email bracketdan at
Boom.
He says, how many times are we going to be okay with Jake talking about Hot Pockets? It's been a minimum of 3 podcasts that he's brought these up.
Did you bring it up again?
It's happened 3 times, and they've all been in pretty passing mention. So
clearly he wants to talk about Hot Pockets. Maybe do a daily segment. I don't know. Let him cook. At least then he will stop bringing up that he's eating free Hot Pockets left in a fridge from the last evicted tenants. Also, Blake is a little cucky, but I'm into it.
Same.
Sweet.
Same. Yeah, so my last one here, this comes to us from our friend Matt Stubbs, who was at Philip's office with us last week. He sent me a link to the 2024 Rangers theme nights. Have you looked at these?
No.
So, like, you're aware of we knew about the Dude Perfect night.
Wait.
Yeah, we're in.
Can we say it?
It's like the link is not ready to go just yet. We're hammering out some details, but it's going to happen.
There's going to be a Dumb Zone theme night.
Okay.
What?
A Dumb Zone day at the ballpark. September 19th.
Who's all this news?
Do people get a discount?
Yeah.
This is incredible.
But yeah, once the link is ready to go, we'll fire it out. But yeah, September 19th is the day game, 1:35 against the Blue Jays.
Will more than 5 people show up?
Yes.
4 right here.
4 right here.
And it's the day before my birthday, so now
Let's go.
he returns the favor.
Listen to you
Gift to
dropping
me.
in your birthday. Now we're going to have to
mark that down.
This is the segment where we do that. So
we're going to have to
that's
we're going to have to
apropos.
say, "Oh man, Megan, I had something ordered for you, but
No.
it just
didn't
come
get here in time. I'll ship it."
So they've got like Dallas Cowboys City Connect Jersey night. That's actually tonight. They've got Shark Week night.
Okay.
Why did the only woman here laugh that hard?
What do they give out? Shark hats? I don't know. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So what was your nickname for having a period? Did you have one?
No, I mean, yes, I had one, but no, just time of the month.
Not
I
if
don't
you
know.
had a period. I figured you did. No, like some ladies will
Part of
say
the deal.
Aunt Flo. We
Yeah.
do Shark Week.
No, just
Aunt Flo's coming to visit. There was no euphemism. It was just
that time.
People could just tell.
Yeah, they knew. They knew to stay away.
So there's Harry Potter night. That's already sold out. Dude Perfect night, as I mentioned, is July 19th.
When is Optic Night?
That's not on here, Blake. But I mean, they've done it. Oh, you know what? It is on here. I didn't go that far down. It's September 2nd.
Okay.
They did it. I know they did it last year. But here's the weirdest one. There's something called Preston and Brianna at the Park. Do you know what this is?
No.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Blake?
It's like somebody getting married?
I will read you this description for Sunday, July 7th. Join us as we welcome our favorite YouTube couple to Globe Life Field on Sunday, July 7th. Be in your seats just before the game to hear Brianna sing the national anthem. Theme night tickets purchased through this offer come with the choice of a custom Preston or Brianna Texas Rangers jersey. So, of course, I had no idea what this was. I look it up, and yeah, they've got like, I don't know, it's 5.6 million YouTube subscribers.
Wow.
And they have
they live here, apparently?
I haven't been able to figure that out yet, but they must. They don't have a Wikipedia page, but they do have a YouTube page.
Man, they look annoying.
They look so annoying.
They don't have a Wikipedia page, but they have 5 point...
Yeah.
Is Wikipedia for the olds?
Here you go.
I think so.
Do they look like
yeah.
fun?
Preston looks horrible.
She rose to fame for playing games like Minecraft, which she uploads on her channel, Brianna Plays. It does say that she was born in Wichita Falls. So,
Can any halfway decent blonde get 1 million followers?
If you play video games, yeah.
Is that
something low cut?
Is that a very rare scene to have semi-hot girl in your video game world? Like, does everybody go nuts over him?
Seems like it works.
There's a Halo community of females, yeah. And they have tournaments.
Just the females?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't seem equality.
It's like the WNBA.
Yeah.
Of
Sure.
gaming.
Why not?
But you would think in gaming, why would it have to be gender, like chess? Why is that gender specific?
Don't know, but it always has been.
Is
Can
it
we get our
because
own team in Dallas?
They're smaller cranium?
Despite the fact that every single study ever has shown that women are more intelligent than men.
Yeah, except for 1 week a month.
Yeah, it's Shark Week.
Yeah.
That's right. There you go.
The Dumb Zone Day at the ballpark will be on Thursday, September 19th. It's a 1:35 first pitch, so if you can take a half day or full day or whatever you with normal jobs can do, come join us. We'll have a link to purchase tickets out there soon, but would love to see you out there. One quick story before we slide into our second sports segment of the episode. I had to throw in here how Danny accidentally smoked meth. This is from our Monday, June 17th open. Enjoy.
Over on the couch, Danny Balis, the great Danny Balis.
Pull my audio up. Why am I not up? Why is there no snare in my headphones?
Danny Balis. He stands at 6'4" and previously delivered pizza. He once smoked drugs that made him sleep for 30 straight hours.
Let's talk about that.
He's the Knock City Knocker. He's a state champion. He can still produce children. And any team that selects him will probably not miss him when he's gone. Danny Balis, Knock City.
Used to deliver pizza. Could be delivering pizza.
Sure. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, I think like there was a Cowboys cheerleader involved or something.
Yeah, there was, Jake.
You're the one who just said, let's talk about it.
I'm fine with talking about it. I feel like we can do whatever we want here.
We absolutely can.
Like, literally, we can say what we want.
One time, Danny smoked meth and forgot what day it was.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't smoke it. Do you really want to hear this story?
Have you done meth?
One time.
Wow.
And it was an accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a way more
kind of a Ron
story.
Washington sitch.
Yeah.
This actually was.
This is actually a way more common story than you think it is, Dan.
Okay, real quick. The reason I did this was I worked at Pizza Inn, and there was a waitress that worked there who was adorable. And she was also a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. Now you ask, why would a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader be working at Pizza Inn in 1988 or 87? Well, at the time, the requirements to be a cheerleader were you had to be a full-time student or you had to have a full-time job. She had some legal problems, maybe a little bit of a history.
Yep.
And it prohibited her from pursuing a higher education, so she decided to sling pizzas full-time as her full-time job to meet the requirements to be a cheerleader. And one night, she asked if I wanted to go hang out. And I was like, yes, I do. So we hung out, and she recommended that we go to this dude's house.
That's always great.
Had stuff.
Yep.
And me being a doe-eyed 19-year-old that had never really done anything in life was about to do cocaine for the first time.
Yes.
With a cowboy cheerleader.
With a cowboy cheerleader.
Who says no?
She could have probably had me injecting fentanyl into my arm that night.
And you would have been like,
I would have agreed. Yes, absolutely.
Give it a go.
Of course I would. Why not?
Yep.
And it ended up not being cocaine. It was crystal meth.
Yep.
And I stayed up for, I believe, about 30 hours. And then I slept for another 30 hours.
It's in the open.
And I lost an entire day of my life because of the sleep. And
well, if you sleep that long, your body really needs it.
It did need it.
That's what we tell.
And that's the only thing that I've ever put up my nose. I've never done I never got to do cocaine.
Yeah.
Because I decided at that moment I'm never doing
Skip
anything
that
like,
stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I know a lot of people that do cocaine.
You're here
in this room. But the reason I knew that I lost a day of work is because I lost a day of my life as I was walking into my job, and there was a guy walking up at the same time. And I said, what are you doing here? It's not your day to work. And he goes, I'm actually filling in for you. I'm like, why? You missed a day of work. No, I was here yesterday. He goes, what's wrong with you? I go, no, I came to work and hung out with Liz. He goes, no, that was 2 days ago. So I skipped a day of work and didn't call anybody because I was asleep. Drugs, don't do them.
Okay. So, yeah, Game 5 is tonight. We're going to talk.
I got so many more stories just like that one whenever you're ready.
Extensively about Game 5.
Yeah, late 80s pizza delivery when you're 20. I imagine that produced
I've seen some videos regarding pizza delivery, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Seems great.
Mm-hmm. Pool?
Like you're just hoping she doesn't have money. Wait.
How are we going to complete this
how are we
transaction?
going to settle this?
Make sure you caught our entire show from Monday as Danny sat in with us all day, and it was a blast. Let's get to the news. The Dumb Zone News from Tuesday, June 18th. Again, the female voice you hear is 690 Megan, who has somehow been added to our time capsule list now because of a claim she makes in this segment. Who knew 690s had this kind of power?
News?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
Not a great day today for pop star Justin Timberlake.
Not so great.
He was charged early this morning with driving while intoxicated in the Hamptons, which is something I know exists, but I don't really know what it is. Like, they'll talk about it on TV shows.
I'm going to say...
I know it's in New York, but...
Excellent. I was going to say East Coast.
Yeah. I just don't know.
Because you do hear about rich people.
Yeah.
They go to the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Will they ever let us into the Hamptons?
Absolutely not.
No?
You need to... You've already got camp credentials and a Dumb Zone theme night. Quit while you're ahead. It's not getting better than today, bud. No chance. He was driving his 2025 BMW around 12:30 a.m. when an officer stopped him and determined he was intoxicated. Eyes bloodshot, glassy, strong odor of an alcoholic beverage. And I've seen the photo of him leaving, and it's tough to see. I love him personally, and it's just a.
It feels like he had his time where he was just killing everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you mean like professionally?
Yeah,
yeah. He definitely was
top of the charts, guy. Yeah. Banging whoever he wants. He's really funny.
He's been married for like 20 years.
Oh, he was?
Oh, he's married to Jessica Biel.
Mary from Seventh Heaven.
I'm pretty sure he's still married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are.
I thought he deflowered Britney or something like that.
That was a long time ago. And I do think there are like some pretty questionable situations around that. Like, ever heard of an abortion?
Yes. She wrote a book and kind of, I think, shared some of that. Didn't read it, but...
Is that on Blake's book club?
There's no way she wrote it.
Sorry, someone wrote it for her.
Yeah.
Is that in a Kempspin list? That Britney had an abortion?
Oh.
Is that a Kempspin?
Something
she did that's legal.
I simply convey the information, and then I let the ball play where it lies.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, 43. You can't be getting a DWI when you're a not billionaire, but super, super rich. Just have somebody drive you.
See, that's the thing, though.
Everybody says that, I know. But
if you have a wife, she might not be cool about it. If you're like, hey, I'm Justin Timberlake, and I can't be busted, so I got wasted, and I got an Uber home or something.
Yeah, that's
and
probably
you still
true.
have a wife, no matter who you are, and probably especially if you're both kind of famous. That's not going to help. If he had some spare wife that nobody knew, it might help.
Leverage plays a little different.
Yeah.
The FBI has arrested a man in Fort Worth who robbed a bank. That normally is not that compelling of a story. This occurred back on June 6th. But the funny part about this one is the guy's carrying like a very small child when he robbed the bank. It's happened in Mineral Wells.
Wait, they arrested him, you said?
Yeah.
Or they just got away? Okay.
Rams.
That a boy, you're back. He knew it.
Yeah, no, he's a high school sports guy.
So the robbery occurred on June 6th. The arrest just occurred yesterday.
Oh.
So, you know.
It's a lot of lag time.
It is, you know, almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's.
But
I wonder if he had spent a ton.
I don't
of
know
it.
if I can like show you guys. But, like he's literally just.
Aww.
The cost of childcare right now.
Yeah.
You do what you got to do.
For sure. That's a great point. That is a great point.
Yeah.
Look, I got to go to work.
Yeah. Bring your kid to work.
And today work is
you don't
robbing
want to leave
this
him in the
bank.
car. That's
right. It's
dangerous.
hot.
Right.
Summer.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
Who amongst us?
You know, the plan was the kid to walk in with him, and then they didn't cooperate, so he's got to pick him up. And
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to go according to plan.
Yeah, for sure. It does say that he came in to the bank. This is a confusing note to me. It's a First Convenience Bank. Okay, my bad. It's in a Walmart. That's why I was confused, because it says that he came up with the kid in the shopping cart. And then when he got the money, he pushed the kid out and picked him up.
Checked his receipt.
Man, that is it's weird is I somehow escaped, I think, ever doing this with Nora, not robbing a bank, but putting her in a shopping cart.
Really?
I guess just my wife was a lot more available at the time or something, but I've done it with Carter probably 5 times in the past month.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one of the things, the cloth things that fit into the cart so they don't sit on the dirty cart?
I'm pretty sure we had one for Nora, but with him, we're just like, come on. Whatever.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Second kid.
Yeah.
Germs.
No, that's been a hack for me. Put him in there with a couple toys. Buys you a good 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Or a snack.
Mm-hmm.
Open something at Target. Yep.
Your dad would let you guys just get some food, right?
My dad would just leave me in the car.
Well, that was back in the days of samples.
Okay.
God, I loved samples.
What do you think about the alcohol samples?
It's weird, right? Like I was
at Central Market the other day. There's a line of 3 people at like 11 a.m.
I saw a good.
They all wanted to drink.
I saw a good buddy of mine who was at one of our 690 remotes. He's a local Grapevine dad. I don't know if he wants his name out here or not, so I won't say it. But I was grocery shopping at the Kroger in Southlake, and he was doing the same. And it was noon, 12:30, and him and his wife had a huge cart of groceries, and they both stopped by and sampled it was like Prosecco or something. He's like, oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I just don't know that I can do that right now.
Yeah, it seems odd.
But yeah, I the kid in the cart thing, my kid is no longer willing to just sit.
Do you do the race car cart?
I have. I did it a couple. Not every place has that.
They only have like 1 or 2.
Yeah. Also, are your kids obsessed with Target?
Obsessed.
What happened there?
Obsessed.
Yeah.
Because they know every time they go, they get something.
There's a big toy aisle.
Yeah.
And then you know where you got to take them is the $2 aisle or whatever that.
They don't know the difference. Yeah, of course.
Right.
Huge. But like TC, again, to reference TC, I don't think that was actually on the podcast, so he was telling me like he'll take Iz like 4 times a week.
Just to Target.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the new mall, because I used to just go to the mall.
And you might have to spend $2 on an item. And that's it.
But you can kill the whole day?
Yeah. Kill a couple hours. Kill an hour.
The toy aisles, how many different aisles of toys are there? You can just kind of walk up and down.
And not a lot of traffic in there.
Especially at the right time.
The book area, there's a kid book area. Maybe just kind of hole up over there.
Yep.
So my last story, this is very...
The panty area.
The very popular and highly trafficked panty area.
Yeah, the chicks in there, they're like, oh, single dad. Oh, you're caring for your son. That's so... What a great guy.
Why are you in the panty area with your son? So I think this is a bad idea, because anytime a company tries to sort of reverse engineer a model...
Ooh, that's where you just let him go and walk by himself and act like you can't find your son.
Yep.
And now here, oh my God, oh,
in the panties.
End up in the changing room. What are you doing?
Look at you here.
How's it going? Oh, sorry. Okay, next story. Start over.
Yeah, so Netflix...
I was thinking about panties.
Netflix has a concept that they are trying to launch with physical locations. So they said in a news release today that they have development plans for one in Philadelphia and one at the Galleria in Dallas for an experiential entertainment venue that will bring some of their, quote, most beloved titles to life.
Like a theater?
I don't think...
Are we describing a movie theater?
I think we've already done that.
There's a giant...
Yeah,
you can see it, bigger than a TV.
Got seats. We got seats.
And snacks.
Mm-hmm. All the stuff you have at home.
Fountain drinks.
We're going to have all that.
It's incredible.
But honestly, I don't really even think it's that. Like, I think it's part theater, but also, like, you can... It says, okay, I'll just read you the press release because it's hilarious. Building on previous Netflix live experiences for Bridgerton, Money Heist, Stranger Things, Squid Game, and Netflix Bites, Netflix House will go one step further and create an unforgettable venue to explore your favorite Netflix stories and characters beyond the screen year-round. So you can go buy clothes from the shows.
Okay, like a Squid Game outfit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in.
Yeah, or
I was around Halloween time.
Smoke Monster's famous T-shirt from when she worked at Blockbuster from Stranger Things.
Okay, I don't know what you're saying there. You're now making stuff up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, wait, when did she?
Well, that's the thing about that show. It just reminded me of when I was growing up in the 80s.
She worked in the mall.
Her name was also 11. I was making fun of two shows you like at the same time.
Right, I know.
From the press release, at Netflix House, you can enjoy regularly
They had the upside down.
updated immersive experiences, indulge in retail therapy, and get a taste, literally, of your favorite Netflix series and films through unique food and drink offerings. So, I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Feels like it's very ambitious. Like, you got a good thing going here where people just pay money to watch their shit on television, and they just have to give all of it.
So it's like a merch store, maybe?
I think they're going to actually play, like if they have first release films, you can watch them there, as opposed to giving them to Sony or AMC or whatever. But you can also go buy like a corset from Bridgerton or whatever.
This seems like it should be a kid's thing. Because if you're telling me this was a Bluey thing and like Brooks could go take his picture with Mackenzie or something, then yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of camp. You talked about camp the other day where kids go experience it. That
a permanent location seems, like I said, very ambitious. Even the Bluey thing, it travels.
Mm-hmm.
And then they rotate different things that you can take your kid to through there. Setting up a permanent Netflix location at the Galleria seems...
Maybe it rotates, like what the theme is?
I don't know.
1 year. That's my...
You're giving it 1 year?
1 year. Mark that down.
Okay.
A lot of money behind the...
Hell yeah, you pay $6.90, you get to tell Blake what he's going to do. There's your news. That's it for today. I love
The
it.
Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
All right, almost there. We'll end with a little today in history, but wanted to make sure everyone heard this nonsense. On our Thursday live show, Jake answered the question, if you could ask your dead grandparents one question, what would it be?
Born on this day, now dead. Come Posey.
I swear this guy comes up 6 times a year.
Yeah. Birth, it's like the first hit.
Yeah.
Debut, birth, death. It's...
Now, his full name was Cumberland.
Yep.
Do you feel like...
People didn't call it cum back then?
Just like today, you know...
Yeah, they called it Chisholm.
Just like there's no Richards being called Dick anymore, correct? I always thought it was great when I had an uncle named Dick, and it was like, and he kind of was.
Mm-hmm. It just worked.
Yeah. But I never knew a kid named Dick. But I would imagine if you grew up in the 60s, you knew a bunch of Dicks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I don't know that, like, did they think it was funny at the time or not? There's no way that when Cumberland Posey was out there playing with the boys that people were calling semen cum.
Right. Wonder what they were calling it back then. You should ask your grandma.
Seed.
They're all dead.
Get a Ouija board.
Ouija board.
If you had the technology, yeah, that's the question you want to ask.
Go to the
Like, what
palm
sort of-
reader or whatever
Yeah,
in
yeah.
New Orleans. Be like, I want to
Yeah.
raise my grandma. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
let's do this, and let's
Grandma, what'd you used to call cum?
yeah. Died on this day.
In our final segment of this show to be named later, Dan's Today in History from Monday, June 17th, as we have 3 different Kemp spins inside this one segment. See if you can catch them.
Today is Monday, June 17th. It's the... I don't usually tell you what day of the year it is, but it's the 169th day of the year. How exciting is that?
It's super exciting.
On this day in 1928, Amelia Earhart became the first woman to make a transatlantic flight as a passenger.
That's the one that drove me insane.
Yeah, go ahead and reduce the importance of this monumental occasion, Jake.
Well,
she didn't pilot the flight. She did in the future.
Yeah, but
this
like,
one, she
when
just
it was
passed.
included in my daughter's book of women leaders throughout history, this is the first thing that they put on the note, and I remember reading it and being like, so you were basically a flight attendant. Like, you didn't fly the plane.
Is that kind of like the first...
Sorry, Rachel.
The first guy to scale Mount Everest?
Yeah. Like
He had a Sherpa with him?
Probably more than one
Who had been
Sherpa.
up and down a dozen times already?
Yeah, like it's exactly the same as when like people came to America and thought they had discovered it.
So they're in this...
And they're like, oh, no,
so
we
here's
live
the
here.
author's problem. The author is like, I just named this book 10 Great Women, and I'm trying to find the 10th.
Oh, my God. Yep. Gonna have to cast a wide net.
I mean,
here.
I got Harriet Tubman.
Yep.
I got Rosa Parks.
See, the other it was funny too because they included Hillary. They included
Geraldine Ferraro.
They included Hillary. And I was like, yeah, most known for losing the most winnable election of all time.
Yeah,
like
even Biden.
Your fuck ups resulted in Donald Trump.
They hated you more than him.
Yeah, how is that possible? And that was in the book. It's like she ran for president. I'm like, well, that didn't go well at all.
I'd have put Monica Lewinsky in there.
You should.
Relationship to MIT.
For saving that dress. On this day in 1994, after
Also,
meeting-
it's funny that Amelia Earhart died because she got lost.
Oh, is that right?
It's pretty much
like she
true.
wouldn't ask for directions. On this day in 1994, after leading police on a slow chase on Southern California freeways, O.J. Simpson was arrested and charged with murder in the slayings of his ex-wife Nicole and her friend Ronald Goldman.
That was a day-long ordeal, even after he got back to Rockingham. It took him like 3 hours to get out of the fucking car.
Yeah.
But
me and Marcus Allen went over to see Nicole.
He was found not guilty. So
Blake.
It's true.
What?
He was found not guilty. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
How are you failing me on?
Have you done a tour of that area before, Jake?
I've not.
I was curious if you ever walked over in those neighborhoods. Now, did they tear down Nicole's house, or is it still there?
Oh yeah, I wonder how you haven't been there.
I'm
Love
pretty
stuff like
sure
that.
they tore it. They because we did see it on the TMZ tour, the dreaded TMZ tour that I
It was
took
great.
everyone on. But yeah,
On this day in the year 2000, I tried to do a Conan real quick.
I feel like you killed it. You absolutely killed it.
Chuck Knobloch of the Yankees.
Whew, I know where this is headed.
Had a wild throw, his 13th error of the season. He had the yips. Something happened to him. But it went into the stands over the dugout and hit Keith Olbermann's mom in the face.
It's a really funny historical Mad Lib that has always tickled me a little bit because I don't really want to hit anybody's mom in the face with a baseball. But if there were a list of people, Keith Olbermann would be on it.
See, that's your moral failing right there.
Or Hitler.
I would hit Keith Olbermann's mom in the face with a baseball before Hitler's mom.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. Not a fan.
Famous wedding on this day in 1977. Joe Biden married Dr. Jill Jacobs. I don't know if she was a doctor. She was 26. He was
She's
34.
still not.
That's in play. That's totally fine.
She was 26?
Yeah.
He's 34.
He was 34.
Yuck.
He's a good man. He's just dying in public.
On this, see, today's birthdays. Amari Cooper is 30.
30. That just feels like, dude, he's been around forever. Like when they moved on from him, he was 27.
Drafted at the age of 15.
No, I think you've exaggerated the story just a little bit, but you're on the right track.
Former Mav Popeye Jones, 54.
Big fan as a kid.
Isn't his son NHL player?
He is, Seth Jones, yeah. Who?
Former Indian Joe Charbonneau is 69.
Do you have a history?
He was Rookie of the Year when I was a little kid. And he was wild. The big thing with him was he could open a beer bottle with his eye socket.
Somehow that's extremely Cleveland, even though I imagine this person is not from Cleveland.
And I think he was out of the game within a couple of years.
No way.
And in fact, he was a minor league player for the Buffalo Bisons when they filmed the movie The Natural.
Okay.
And he was one of Robert Redford's teammates.
Those are some super good facts.
You're going to impress a lot of people at parties this week, Dan.
Venus Williams is 44. She's the not hot Williams sister.
Not true.
Barry Manilow is 81.
Don't get it. Never got it.
Newt Gingrich is 81.
Divorced. It's on the list already, Blake, so you don't have to worry about it.
Still like to read it.
He disputes this, but the report was that is it a fun one for you?
I love this one.
He informed his wife that he would be leaving her at the hospital while she was dealing with cancer. So he went to the hospital to tell her, like, hey, doesn't look like this thing's turning around on you. So I'm going to get out now, and I want you to know. Which is a real dick move.
I was going to say, though, that he went to the hospital that's something good. Let's go silver lining.
Dan's more of a glass half full guy.
He could have just
always
written her a
has
note.
been.
And what's she going to do if she gets mad? She's not going to chase after you.
No, I think she was in poor health at the time, Danny. Yep.
She'd have to carry that rack with her.
Should he have just cheated on her and not forced her? Okay.
100%. He should have just done whatever he was going to do anyways. And then...
Yeah, why go through telling him?
Yeah. So
plus
she
the
could die
attorney
sad.
fees?
Yeah.
I don't know. Bad move, Newt.
Thank you. I convinced you that Newt Gingrich might be a bad guy.
Yeah, just because it's just not logical. Joe Piscopo is 73. John Grease is 67. He is Uncle Rico.
Wow. Not much else.
He's been in a million things.
For real.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're
was
right.
in-
I actually remember looking this up somewhat
It's the
recently.
damn show that's been really popular recently that he was in.
Oh,
White Lotus.
White Lotus, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. That's a fun show, Jake.
I've seen it. I've actually that is one I actually did watch. Trucking through the bear right now too, buddy. I'm loving it.
Oh, you're going season 2, huh?
Yeah. I'm loving it.
Where you at?
Midway.
Okay.
I think the guy in the Godfather show I'm watching, The Offer,
Feller?
the lead guy kind of has a face like the lead guy in The Bear, kind of a smushy.
Yeah,
like a little bit of a smush face.
I do agree with you that in general there are like 10 types of faces for each race.
Please expound. Take all the time you need.
Pay attention and you'll know what I mean. For each race, there's like 10 different, I see people sometimes and I'm like, that guy looks like Blake. He doesn't really look like Blake. He just has the same type of face as Blake. Or Dan. Or me. And I think it happens with women too. Now that this information is out there in the world, you're all going to be hearing a lot more and more about it in the coming days and weeks. But you're basically describing what I'm talking about. Miles Teller and Jeremy whatever don't really look alike, but they have like a similar face.
Right. They both, yes.
So there's something to what I'm saying. Like Danny and I kind of have the same general structure of face.
I mean, look, there's only so many options unless you're deformed. There's 2 eyes. There's a nose.
Yeah, see.
There's a mouth.
You got to look at these 2 actors
ears.
side by side and you'll understand.
Eventually, you're going to get some similarities because there's probably a finite number of ways you can configure these things.
Did you see the
before you start seeing redundancies, right, Jake?
Yes, and I'm the one who's brave enough to have pointed that out.
You're almost saying that there's like 10 different templates, though.
Yes, that's
like
exactly
there's 10
what
stamps.
Yes.
Like building a house?
Yes.
Like, did you see the chick online that looks exactly like Russell Westbrook?
No.
Did anybody see that?
No.
Search it. Girl Russell Westbrook. You're going to go nuts.
Sure I will.
Nuts.
I can't wait to watch. You are. And I'm saying that for Blake, the guy who doesn't go nuts over anything.
Thank you.
Bobby Farrelly is 66 of the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Hayden Church is 64.
From Sideways.
Yeah.
Seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, he does.
Greg Kinnear is 61 from The Soup or Talk Soup.
He did that show?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I think was he the first to do it?
He might have been the orig. Will Forte is 54.
Hilarious.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar, 37.
Damn.
Remember when you introduced me to him, Jake?
That's right.
It's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
My daughter's really into, I think I told you guys this, but she's really into They Not Like Us. It's like her favorite song right now. It's not that interesting of a note, really. Probably just move on.
Take it, Dan.
I'm searching for the female Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I couldn't find her either.
Try on Twitter. There you go, yeah.
Holy shit.
Did I say it? Are you going nuts, Blake?
Yeah, she looks like she could brick a couple threes on you.
This lady just wrecked my team's cap sheet.
She looks exactly like Russell Westbrook.
What's going on with her?
Okay.
Okay.
It is?
Good.
That was?
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah,
Oh,
man. It has to be. That was too much.
Dan got
She's
ball
real.
sacked.
I'm just very glad.
Don't give me the original.
Oh, come on.
She's white.
It's just-
How did I do that?
She
Damn
looks
it.
nothing like Russell Westbrook.
Nope.
Damn it. I got
Dude.
ball sacked.
Dude, who sits down and sees
Listen.
this video and says, let me make her into Russell Westbrook?
Listen, I'm worried about myself. I'm worried about where society is headed when it comes to my daughters, but I am real worried about him.
Who, Dan?
Yeah. Like if we're
the mustache
awesome.
on.
if we're gonna keep working together for the next handful of years, like
I've been ball sacked less than you lately.
that is okay. Lately, you might have make the window small enough, but this stuff, this deep fake stuff, this AI stuff, I think you're in trouble.
You could see the cheekbones, though. Yeah, you could see where somebody originally thought.
Okay, but Jake, let's go back to step one when he thought the Brady Jugs video was real.
Dude.
Or the Brady
It's
hole-in-one.
Tom Brady.
Okay.
It's
can
not
do
that it was
anything.
Tom Brady. It's that it's a jugs machine. It doesn't work backwards. It
You guys
can't
don't even
fire
know
a
how to
Does it have a
football.
reverse switch?
He's so accurate. And how about this for some full circle? Jerry Falwell Jr. is 62.
Had
Does he have a chem spin? Moral. He had some moral failings.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few. Manny. Wasn't his name Manny, the pool boy?
That sounds right.
Born on this day, now dead, Art Bell.
Don't doubt me. Oh, man.
He was ahead of his time, wasn't he?
Great. I've read a book of his. I used to listen to him all the time driving back and forth from San Marcos. He moved to like Manila. Is that right, Video Man? Okay. But he was doing a show from like the Philippines or something at some point.
What, to escape the feds?
I mean, he would definitely sell it that way of like, I know too much. I've got to leave the United States.
And you were like, oh, man. Fuck
He does know a lot, so that makes sense.
This checks out.
His show is so good, man. So
You could
good.
just sit there by
I'm
himself.
sad I was never a listener.
And talk.
The theater of God, it was good.
Also born on this day, now dead, George Cormack. He invented Wheaties.
Pretty.
Ruth Wakefield.
Spare,
She
if I'm being
invented
honest. Yeah.
the first chocolate chip cookie. It says here. Ruth Wakefield.
Okay.
Didn't both of those things exist independently?
Yeah.
Ruth is on one again. She's putting chocolate chips and cookies now.
Yeah, like what?
Lost her damn mind.
And Otto Hitler. He is Adolf's brother.
Who I would not hit with a baseball.
Died on this day, still dead.
I forgot Rachel's a member of the tribe, and that's why all of this is landed.
Keith Olbermann's.
Keith Olbermann is
mom.
a bad person, but for Rachel, I would hit Hitler's mom with a baseball instead of his mom.
You've really changed your tune in about 15 minutes.
Yep.
That's how it goes. Forget who you're around sometimes.
Died on this day,
the
still
women jokes
dead.
I'll still stay.
In 1631, Mumtaz Mahal, the Taj Mahal named after her. She died during childbirth. She was 38 years old. She was delivering her 14th child.
That was a really weird sequence of things when you said she died during childbirth. She was 38 years old. I was like thinking that she had gestated. How does someone die during childbirth despite being 38?
14th? Yeah, I'd be like, I'm trying to
But
do the math here. When did you
I don't
start?
think I ever knew that was named after anyone. That's interesting.
Her death was ruled as a suicide.
I'm out. You're just like, I'm out.
Died on this day in 2015, John David Crow, the Aggie great.
Mm-hmm.
So they say. I'm sure he never played against the black man.
It's unlikely.
Died on this day in 2012, Rodney King. Died on this day in 2016, Ron Lester. You ever been beaten down by him?
I have, and it was one of those moments. It's probably very similar to Mel Hall with you, outside of the pedo stuff, where you would be blown away that you could meet this person as an adult, and then they won't stop talking to you, and you just want to get away from them because he was Billy Bob from Varsity Blues. I don't know why I said it weird like that. From Varsity Blues.
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob.
From Varsity Blues.
From Varsity Blues, and he did a screen. We had him in studio, and then he did a screening for his movie, for Varsity Blues and his movie, which I believe he termed a faith-based racing action comedy. And then he did a Q&A afterward, and it was very clear that the only people in the audience who were asking questions were friends that he had brought, which was...
I have no idea who this dude is.
Billy Bob? You never seen Varsity Blues?
No.
You would love it.
Oh, man.
You mean Varsity Blues?
Growing up where you grew up,
Varsity Blues,
playing a little 1A ball, you would love it.
Is James Vanderbeek in it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'll definitely will watch it then.
It's a great movie.
He's a middle-aged snack.
Paul Walker's in it.
and finally died on this day still dead. It's Eugene Weldman. So he was the last person to be publicly guillotined.
Holy.
In France.
I think that was filmed too.
In what year was...
Well, Danny just gave a hint.
Oh.
So that might have been...
He ruined it.
I would have said like 1900.
Okay. Yeah, I would have thought early 1800s.
No, I think it was.
It feels like they're more progressive over there. Like they were ending slavery earlier than us.
Yeah, but they created that thing though.
Mm-hmm. The guillotine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
1931.
Blake, you want to play?
It's a fun game.
It's not really.
There's prizes.
It's 1939 actually.
Okay.
Did you guys start House of Dragon?
Yes.
Did you do it? The other one?
What do you mean?
Dragon 2, whatever. House of Dragon.
House of the Dragon.
Yes, I watched season 1 of Dragon 2.
I rewatched season 1.
Like I feel like it's
over
just
3
too
days.
much. Too much Dragon.
This is good.
This one's hitting, dude.
It's really good. Did you rewatch season 1 to get caught up?
I read.
Okay.
Like I just read some stuff,
like
and
2 weekends ago, I just took the time.
Yeah,
got a lot of free time. Rolled through.
That's what I've heard.
10 episodes of the first season. So last
Dragon
night
2.
I was primed. This thing is going to be insane.
Yeah. It's got the potential to be as good as the best seasons of Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of weird because they like shifted time a little bit. Anyways,
Has it got that hot Khaleesi in it or whatever her name is?
No.
Different Khaleesi's now.
Yeah.
Are they hot?
What do you think?
They must be, or else you guys aren't watching it.
Well, the weird thing too is they
You're
had
not watching a Root Khaleesi.
They had the new Khaleesi they had on there last night actually looked exactly like Russell Westbrook.
And that was Today in History.
Just dividing the Red Keep with bad chemistry.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's fake. I'm like, gosh, that does look just like him.
Well, yeah, it does.
Because it's him.
All right, that's going to do it for this week's weekly wrap-up. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, then why did you listen to this whole thing? If this is something you would listen to every weekend, let us know. If you have a better idea, let us know. We technically work for you now since you pay our salary, so you should have a say in how things go, I guess. Contact the show, always, at thedumbzone@gmail.com. Subscribe to the Dumb Zone Patreon. Everything we do goes on the Patreon, so your $6.90 will get you every little piece of content that the Dumb Zone does. Your patronage puts food on our table, and it's never been more appreciated. Thanks again. We'll talk next week.
Well, that's it for us today. We got to go before this becomes a zoo. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
What does Blake do?
What does Blake do?
You do here.
What does Blake do?